Nice.
Did you know we were doing this? We're doing an AMA now, but now we have special guests on our AMA.
I think I read it once before, but I just been busy as fuck.
Okay.
So
Okay. Been busy. It's good to be busy sometimes.
As fuck.
Busy as fuck. Yeah, there we go. Okay, awesome.
Busy. BAF.
Bath. I've been baffed. Oh, Danny Highway's here. What's up, Danny? I've been baffed out, dude. I've been busy getting fucked up.
I'm playing. It's not like that all the time.
It's not Modelo's every day. Internal,
it's
dude.
weed every day.
It's weed every day. That's another thing. That's legal up with you guys, Penncenter, isn't it? Isn't weed like totally legal up in Canada?
Yeah. So we were talking about that on stream today. Like someone popped in and was like, "Oh, like fucking weed," and I'm in the middle of my class, right? And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like we can grow 4. Like I think it's like 4 plants per household. I think is what we're allowed to in BC." And I was like, "Am I allowed to talk about this in class?" I don't know. I didn't know. So I was like, "What?"
I got an aunt that lives in Canada.
Yeah, where in Canada do they live? Internal.
I really do not know. I have not talked to my aunt in a while.
Canada is a big place, dude.
Yeah, I know. What I do know, she works for DreamWorks.
Oh, DreamWorks. Oh, like the animation company. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh wait.
Oh,
so
you got a photo up there. Right?
Yeah, I got a photo. So you're in Kelowna, right? Like British Columbia? Is that what you said, Penncenter?
That is correct. Yeah. So you can tell people where I'm from. I'm just north of Seattle, really, right? Like about 4 hours.
Which is pretty
Seattle,
close to
5 hours
Spokane, right? Aren't you close to Spokane as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty close to there. Yeah.
Yeah, have you been to Shambhala before? Have you heard of Shambhala?
I've heard of Shambhala, but I've never been to Shambhala.
Yeah, it's like your Coachella, I guess. It's a really big music festival. I went there in like 2015. That's my only Canada experience I've had, was actually at Shambhala.
Was it good? That's the question.
Dude, it was the best, dude. Yeah. You know,
did we do it justice?
It did. You know what's actually interesting is it was a dry festival. There was no alcohol at it. Yeah. Which was kind of a first, honestly. I've never really been to a music festival there was no alcohol, which was nice because alcohol tends to sometimes make festival people like rude and obnoxious and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so for some context, now you have the map up on your stream, right? So
yeah.
We have it.
Yeah.
My parents live very close to Toronto. So
okay.
I grew up in that like little kind of like weird peninsula bit in Ontario.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up. I moved to Winnipeg to do my master's. So I've lived in Manitoba, which is kind of central Canada.
Uh-huh.
And then David and I just moved in 2016 out to British Columbia. So I've lived in at least 3 different provinces in Canada.
Which are kind of like your states, right? Are they like the states? Are they like the states kind of out there?
Yeah. Like each province is like a different state, right? They have their own kind of government and their own way of kind of running and looking after things. Yeah.
And then some of them speak like different languages, right? Isn't Quebec like the official language French? It's not even English.
Yeah, that's why it's red, because we're like, I'm kidding. Sorry, I hope ZX isn't here. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Is anybody from France? No, I appreciate the French language. We actually we learned French from like kindergarten all the way up to like grade 12 when I lived in Ontario. So.
Oh wow! So you speak French then? Yeah.
I can read French. I say to people, like if they give me math questions, I can totally read it. I don't know if I can speak to somebody like face to face in French, but
I used to
get them.
You can conversationally, you can get them kind of, yeah.
Yeah. The conversation's always the hard part, right?
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I need to turn my camera on. I don't have my camera on, so you can't see me. 1 second. Let me turn that on. There we go. That's fixed.
Bro.
Okay. What's up, internal? You speak Spanish. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to learn other languages, though. I really do.
Dude, other languages are great. Yeah. Penncenter, do you know any other languages?
I'm learning Russian right now, actually.
Oh, wow. That's a hard one.
It's the language, like just the letters are ridiculously hard to learn. But it's been a lot of fun learning. I'm on like I'm taking Duolingo, man. So I'm on like a 450-day streak. It's pretty cool.
Wow, 450. That's a lot. Do you remember they've kind of leaned in. They've leaned in on Duolingo being like a bastard to you, like scaring people and whatnot. I'm sure you've seen all the memes.
Scaring people? What?
Yeah, you are like the bird is like, hey man, like It looks like you missed your lessons. Look what happens now, dude.
I'm about to fuck you up.
Yeah, no, this bird is just like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, Duolingo.
Ballistic missile threat? No.
No, bro. But it's got to the so everyone used to meme this Duolingo bird as being this bird that like terrorizes you into learning a language. And then the company itself like kind of leaned into this as being funny. That now where is it? One sec. Oh Jesus, who's so loud there? Oh, it's or Ethan. Okay.
Statically for
what's up, dude? Oh, where was it? Duolingo males, we know where you live. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, this is it. So now this is like part of their official, if you buy merch from them and whatnot, they do this. They say, yeah, look, I hope you enjoy your purchase from my merch store. I also hope that you do your daily lessons because if you don't, well, let's just say I know where you live now.
Wow. Bro, what?
Yeah, they leaned into it. It's a great play. Honestly, like if you're a company and people are memeing you and you lean into the meme, like good for you, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's a good idea. God damn.
Yeah, it's so true. Like there's one character on there and she's like the super depressing like teenage girl and I always appreciate getting messages from her.
Which one is that? What's that? Do you know the name of that bird? Or Duolingo?
I think her name is like Lily maybe, like Lily. I want to say.
Lily, let's see this. Oh, this one.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. Yeah. And so she's like this super emo girl, and she takes me back to like my high school days when I was like completely emo.
This reminds me of the Incredibles character. What is it? The daughter in that one, right? Isn't she like super emo? And she's like, yeah, I hate my parents.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Which then gives like Shigo vibes, dude. Shigo is my like my high school crush, or like maybe middle school crush. I forget like when I watched Kim Possible, but I loved Shigo. Oh man.
Oh. Yeah,
all
I
right.
feel like I'm learning too much.
I know. No, that's what this is. It's an AMA.
Gold, always.
I do talk
about
to
gold, always.
I always what internal? What?
Don't worry.
Okay. Nice. Okay, here.
You say too much.
I say too much, but it's okay. That's why I'm not an official teacher. I can't get fired, so it's all right. It's like, oh, we have a big pupper here, dude. What? Ooh, let's see this.
Yeah, I'm also off hours right now, so I can. Say
Yes. Yeah. Nothing I say can be used against me. What's up, Reese?
Wait, you have a teacher?
This is Reese. Yeah.
Yeah.
You work as a teacher?
He does.
Yeah,
well, I can see Reese.
If you hear heavy breathing, I promise. If you hear heavy breathing, it's him and not me. I promise.
Oh yeah, we know that already.
What type of dog is this? Wait, is this the one Danny calls like a wolf?
Yeah, he's a Saint Bernard and Shepherd Cross.
Oh wow!
So he's got kind of like
beautiful dog. Yeah. I thought you were talking about gold. I was distracted over here. My dog real quick.
That's not me, dude. That's not me. Wow.
No, he's awesome. He's like such a good dog, but he's so fucking huge. Oh my
How many pounds is he?
I got a Belgian Malinois and I got a fucking Doberman.
Dobermans are big. Yeah, those are big dogs.
I love Dobermans.
Dobermans are big dogs.
He's like 7 months old. I got a Doberman. I got a Belgian Malinois. I got a
Wait, don't you wait. Internal, don't you guys like breed dogs? Don't you and your brother, like your whole family, like I thought like breeds dogs. Isn't that like a thing?
No, our dogs are just horny as fuck.
Oh my god.
Internal keeps it real. I will say that, Internal. You do keep it real. Yo, wait, okay. On a serious note, Internal, how's the school stuff going? You're graduating soon, right?
Yeah, this is my last year.
Nice, dude.
That's dope.
And what's next?
I got like 4 months left.
Yeah, what's happening after that?
Get my grades up.
Okay.
I'm still trying to do the Marine shit. I've been doing good on the weight loss.
Good.
I've
good
been
for you.
Pretty good. I just gotta get my grades up and hope I graduate.
All right. Well, we're praying for you, dude. I want you to do it. Okay, I'm gonna start off the podcast internal, but always good to hear from you and everything.
Sure, I'm about dip 2. I just finished closing my store.
Good shit, dude. Good shit. All right. We'll always come by, internal. I love talking to you, dude. I love hearing about your points on life, dude.
Straight up.
All right.
Bullshitting.
Well, we love it, dude. We love it.
Of course.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, internal. Keep it up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you, dude. All right, let's start off.
Hey, and be careful with the stream because it looks like it's cutting off a bit, or it might just be my connection.
It's just probably your yeah. We'll see. Everyone else in the chat, you tell me if the stream is not doing good or whatnot. We'll see. But yeah, I think we're good. Okay.
Good on my
Now
side,
you're about my connection.
All right, you got to get that 5G, dude. You got to get the antennas installed in your brain, bro. All right, welcome everyone to the Golden Hour AMA podcast. My name is Dr. Gold. I'm sure. Today we have an awesome special guest. We have pencenter.
That's dope.
Bryan Penfound, I guess is your full name, right? The government name is what we say.
How dare you dox me like that?
No, I could you doxed yourself. Actually, I didn't know what your last name was until you wrote your bio and you said, "Hey, I'm Bryan. I work at this college as this department chair." I'm like, this is pretty easy.
Yeah,
I'm just
totally.
like, I didn't know if
self-doxing. Yeah,
the kids do that, right? They don't want their real name to get out because they think someone's gonna find them, and I'm like, what? I don't know.
I mean, whatever. Like everyone can find me. Like I'm a public figure at a college, so whatever.
Exactly.
I reveal my own name.
Yeah,
Never
Ethan
been my own name,
Ethan has revealed his face before. I tell the kids, you don't have to tell me what your real name is. You don't have to show your face, and you honestly shouldn't.
Is your last name actually Slayer? That would be pretty cool.
Yes, Slayer.
It's not Slayer. It's not Slayer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even though I do Slay stuff, I'm not actually called Slayer. It's just a nickname.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, so you're so here, yeah, well, I'll have you give a little quick bio, or you can talk a little bit about like who you are, what your background is, and then we'll dive in some questions that the kids asked here on the stream.
Yeah, sure, man. So yeah, my name is Bryan Penfound. I am the chair of a math department in Canada. I'm in British Columbia, which is on the west side of Canada, kind of close to. How many hours would you say north of California? So I'm kind of north of Washington.
10? I think like 10 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So I'm kind of like about 4 to 5 hours north of Seattle. Is kind of where I live.
Okay.
So it's pretty warm most of the time. We've had a little bit of snow and rain, whatever this winter, but pretty warm. My background is in mathematics. So I grew up. I honestly, like I always tell people, like I literally had no idea what the fuck I was doing for like the first 4 years of my undergraduate career, like
Same.
just like everybody else.
Same.
And then I eventually figured out that like math was kind of the thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to teach.
Sure.
So, and then I've kind of moved around around Canada, kind of figuring out what I wanted to do, and kind of landed here in the West Coast, and just have been teaching.
West Coast, best coast.
Out here ever since. Yeah, seriously, it's pretty awesome. So lived out here since 2016. I mean, if you've been here for a few minutes, I have a massive fucking dog, and yeah, so I teach. So I guess you and I have met kind of recently on Twitch, just because we do the whole education.
We met through
business.
Noise, I guess. Really, I need to give credit to Noise because Noise, I think, introduced you to me. He's like, "Yo, this guy's really dope. He does this." I'll ask you some questions about this, but yeah, he does this Zeta thrilling thing. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, okay, cool. He's a cool guy. And then I noticed that like you have this whole entourage of other really cool math streamer friends that all kind of do the same thing. I didn't even notice this. I was like, what? That's dope.
I don't know if they would call it an entourage, but that makes me feel like I'm at the lead of this. But I feel like it's more of a
democracy. Yeah, exactly. Collaborative stuff.
Yeah. Like I'm not like the Don Father. Like Don Father is the Don Father. Like I will not take his name away.
Don does math. DDM. He's the Don Father.
Yeah, DDM. He is the. I always refer to him as the Don Father. Yeah.
That's too funny. I love that, dude. The Don Father. Yeah, shout out to Don, dude. Hey, Don, are you here in the chat? I hope Don would maybe be in the chat. Did you tell the other guys that you were going to be on this podcast? I'm curious.
Yeah, definitely. I've promoted it a little bit.
Oh, good.
Sure.
Good stuff.
Monkey, hey man, how you doing?
Yeah, we love Monkey. Monkey's always he's here and stuff. Yeah.
He's always chatting with me in Twitch. So.
Yeah, so that's been a cool thing because here, yeah. Speaking of Twitch, this is your Twitch channel, right? And yeah, it's very cool. I love maybe walk me through a little bit like what got you involved into like running math Twitch streams like this.
Yeah, sure. So like, okay, literally when COVID, like, I don't even want to mention COVID because it's like the most annoying thing to talk about.
We don't talk about it.
When that happened.
Yes.
Yeah, like everything got like just turned on its head, right?
Right.
So what we needed to do as a faculty was to move everything online. Like there were no, like we had no other way to teach anything. Like we didn't have opportunity to do anything else.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I could do the usual thing that everybody else is doing, which is like Zoom or like Microsoft Teams.
Ew, we don't like that either. Microsoft Teams,
Right.
yuck.
But it's like I knew Twitch existed. I knew I could kind of gamify the learning of the
Yes,
mathematics a
we
little
love
bit
that.
more with like channel points and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I'm like, man, I'm gonna just jump into Twitch. I literally had no idea what I was doing. But I'm like, I'm just gonna do it and see what happens.
Nice.
And I don't know if you noticed today, Gold, but today is my 2-year affiliate anniversary.
Oh wow! 2 years on affiliate. Congrats, dude.
Yeah.
I think you
So
beat me
we
by a couple months there,
started,
but 2 years. Wow, that's dope.
Yeah, it's like we started like January like that year,
Okay.
and by the 26th we were already affiliate.
Oh,
So
wow.
like there was a huge demand to do mathematics online, and I've just been doing it ever since.
And you got like super comfortable with it, yeah, and using the whiteboards and all the tools. I honestly prefer it to teaching in person.
Yeah.
Just because you have more stuff.
This
right?
is my whiteboard. It's literally this. Like, I will show it to your audience. Like,
Does that say "Stay salty"?
Man. I use a laptop. It does say "Stay salty." Yeah.
Oh my god. What's the messaging behind "Stay salty"? Now I want to ask.
Like all of my, I hate water.
He hates water.
So
okay.
Literally, I hate water. So I have to put electrolytes in my water so that I will drink it.
Oh my! See, that's a super unique thing to know about you. Wow.
So this is a raspberry salted water, and it's fucking delicious. And it's the only way that I will drink water when I'm streaming. Otherwise, I just drink alcohol. When I'm
like, cheers to that. Yeah, cheers. We're both.
No, seriously, I will. Yeah.
You said we've been meaning to do this for a while, to have like a group bourbon, or it's fireside chat almost, right?
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah. Wait, what are you drinking? I have this nice 12-year Arbor Scotch. Actually, I just had like a little bit left. Oh, it's funny. It's invisible because it's empty, so you can't see it on the stream.
Yeah, so you're green screening it up.
My green screen.
I have the Woodford Reserve right now.
We do like the Woodford Reserve. That's a rock solid, like, every day. Well, not every day. You shouldn't drink every day, but you know what I'm saying. Stable one.
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, so you have this stream, and I see you do some gaming here on it and whatnot. Do you use similar like AMA, like just ask me any math question, or?
Yeah, so basically my help center, or like my math help kind of sessions are just like whatever goes, right? Like people can ask any question. We also go into like the math server. I don't know if you've seen that, the Discord math server, where they have like 1 billion channels that are all like, help me with this. So sometimes we'll just fly through there and try.
Oh, you mean the official mathematics server, like the big math server. Oh yeah, that one's huge. Yeah. I got yelled at in that server once because
I get yelled at all the time.
Yeah, server. What? Yeah, I don't get it. There are some of these like education servers, and the second you say, "Hey, I'm helping out with this. It's free. Like, I'm just gonna help kids," they shut you down. They're like, "No advertising." I'm like, "I'm not advertising. I'm just just trying to help." I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing I've noticed. These Discord servers get very, I guess, protective about their community, and anytime someone else is even trying to like provide any value to like help kids, they're just like they get really mad at you. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's weird. I think there's actually like a really interesting opportunity here to like build on that server, I think.
Sure.
And like actually offer events through that server. But
sure.
I mean, maybe one day it'll happen. I don't know. I can't speak for the owners of the server and what they want to do.
I just wonder why they get so defensive about it. Yeah, I'm very open. If for instance you came into my server and said, "Hey, I'm running free math help at 3 p.m." I'd be like, "Sure, great, go for it." Like, you know, I'm not worried you're like poaching my community. Like, what the fuck, you know?
What you doing, Sensation? What you doing?
Oh, is he on the webcam too? Sensation's always great.
He's on the webcam, just like pointing random stuff.
Sensation, what are you doing here for us, dude? Now I gotta watch you. What's up, Ethan? Ethan, what's up? What's up, Ethan?
I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you too with your talk, but I want to say an important announcement.
What's the important announcement you want to say, dude? What's up?
All right, so do you know what's in the Math Olympiad?
I know what Math Olympiad is. I'm sure Penfound probably knows what Math Olympiad is too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to answer any questions right now, but I know what they are.
Yeah, we're off the clock. No math or science right now. What's up, Ethan? What do you want to say? What do you want to say, Ethan? What do you want to say?
Apparently, every year, like my school will like have a math Olympiad. Maybe
Good.
we'll go out to see other. but I decided to actually join with my team.
Oh, nice. We love that, dude. Hell yeah.
So I heard that we're gonna have our first meeting on Monday about that.
Okay. Cool, man. I 100% support that. I've been trying to tell you to get into more clubs, like with chess or with math or whatnot, because you're obviously gifted and skilled at this. You just need a community for it.
Yeah, I also speaking of math, I really do hope that like my math skills are good for this.
They are. And again, you know, if you want them to get better, so this is something that a lot of students, when they come by to, I have one student named Jamarcus. Has Jamarcus come by your stream before, Pencenter? Has he?
He asked
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
asked the hardest questions.
Jamarcus asks very difficult questions because he's in a, like kind of a math Olympiad type thing. And I mean, Pencenter and I can talk about this later, but yeah, these math Olympiad questions they give to you are usually a bunch of tricks that you need to know in order to solve them. And so a great way to learn those tricks is to join, you know, either Pencenter or my, you know, math streams, and we can teach you the tricks so you can get good at them. Think of it as like a free coach, you know, to make it so you do well in things.
Oh, sure, yeah, I can think of it as coaching me. Yes.
Yeah, it's like coaching. It's like coaching. Yeah, I say life coaching half the time.
I want you to wish me a good luck on this math Olympiad. I'll try to see how far I can.
I do. We wish you the best of luck, dude.
That's dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a go.
What's
I
up?
actually do have an AMA question right now.
Good.
So
Can
I'll
you?
plan to ask that.
Yeah, submit it. Submit it in the Discord. There's a whole AMA channel, and we'll get to them. I don't know. Do you have time
Alright.
requirements, Pencenter? Do you have to be somewhere at some certain time or something?
Nope.
Cool. Yeah, I have to go to a concert in like 2 hours, but I feel like I have time before that, right? I don't think we're gonna go 2 or 3 hours. That would be the longest one so far.
You going to see Cardi B tonight, Gold?
No, I'm an electronic music lover. I don't. Yeah, Cardi B. Ugh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a
I
good
know,
question.
yeah, Cardi
What type
B,
of music?
but-
What type of music do you like, Pencenter? That's a good question, actually. I like that.
Oh, okay. Let me open up my Spotify and I'll
Yeah,
tell
okay.
you what's in there. Okay, so I mean, obviously we have our Twitch playlist, whatever. You know, the stuff that's not going to get me banned off of Twitch.
Yeah. So you guys
do I
use
have-
is it non-commercial music? Because I see some of you guys use music on your Twitch streams. I just don't even try.
So I play exclusively usually gamer music, so like
Okay.
music from video games, and usually
Okay.
Twitch doesn't really care about that.
Oh, because it would have been heard in the video
because-
game anyways.
Yeah, and as long as you're kind of doing something over top of it, it's kind of to them it's kind of fair use to some extent.
Okay. That's cool. I
don't
didn't know
if
that.
makes sense, but
See, that's not entirely accurate though.
Oh.
so Sensation knows a bit more than I do on this. Yeah, so I knew he was
Sensation
gonna
knows
chime
about
in
getting
a bit
banned on
about
things.
If it's if it's the original track from a video game, then Twitch just sits there and says, "Oh well, we can't really ban you for that because otherwise we'd ban everybody."
Right.
But when it's an original performance, then the copyright belongs to the performer, not the composer.
Oh.
It becomes quite funny then at that point.
Okay. I see.
But
Okay.
generally speaking, if
So-
it's not on the
so-
RCIAA, then they just sit there and go, "Meh."
Meh.
So
Meh.
it's basically as long as the original performer doesn't come after us, then it doesn't matter, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
but they won't because it's obviously people that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Good to know. I've thought about putting
That's why
music
I
on my
use original-
streams, but I thought it might be distracting. Yeah. What do you use, Sensation? What did you say you use?
I use original video game music from the video games themselves, or I use obscure anime music that isn't on the RCIAA.
So like the OST stuff, or is it specifically is it on Spotify? Basically, that's my question. Like, where's this coming from? Or do you literally rip the music files from like the program?
Combination of CDs that I've got, which I've ripped personally.
Wow, CDs. What are CDs, dude? What are the CDs?
Does that mean compact? You have compact discs?
Compact discs.
Compact discs, new compact discs as well, not all new ones.
He's got real compact discs. I have some vinyl
That's
actually.
amazing.
I do have vinyl. I have vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I mean, like Noise has a lot of vinyl too, doesn't he?
he does. And his grandfather has like one of the nicest hi-fi systems. I think he has like a tape deck or something. It's insane.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
I
super-
remember him showing us some of that stuff in chat. Yeah.
yeah, it
it's
looks
crazy.
good. But okay, but back
We're
to
talking
That reminds me.
what's up, Sensation?
What were
What's
you
up?
gonna say, Sensation? Yeah.
Sorry, no, I don't mean to interject. It's actually my fault that Noise knows you both.
Oh wow, he's the connection.
Oh, okay.
Sensation is the connection. You're the conductor.
Because he came in one time and I was like, "Do you know Dr. Gold?" And he's like, "No, go check out Dr. Gold." And I was like, "Do you know Penn?" And he's
What?
like, "No, go check out Penn."
No fucking way, dude. I didn't know that. Oh, I'm glad. What? Thank you, Sensation, dude. Wow.
Us brothers got to stick together, you see. So
Yeah, I always knew our boy was sensational. I just didn't know like how extreme that went.
Dude, I didn't know. Dude, he's the puppet master. Sensation has been like guiding this whole thing from the top. He's in the back scenes just doing this, dude. He's just like, ah.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Music. What music do you listen to, Pencenter?
Okay. Music. I might get some boost from the crowd, but I really
okay.
really like country and western.
Wow. Okay. I'm from Texas, so I'm supposed to
yeah.
like country. So.
Yeah, I appreciate country a lot, and then a lot of what I listen to after that is alternative rock. So stuff like Passion Pit.
Ooh, Passion Pit's good.
John Bellion, AJR, like in that kind of realm.
Okay.
I listen to that a lot. Just like
Is
really
is
upbeat,
Alt
like,
J
peppy
is Alt
kind of
J alternative rock? Do we call Alt J alternative rock?
Alt J is in there somewhere. Yeah, he's definitely on the playlist. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, very cool. Okay. There's actually
Empire of the Sun.
Empire of the Sun is good.
Walk the Moon, like those guys, right? Like M83, like all.
Yeah, I was about to say M83, and then who's the Washed Out? Have you heard of Washed Out? That's someone.
I don't know if I have Washed Out on my.
Oh man, there's
you gotta message me that.
Yeah, my one buddy, he's super into the alternative stuff, and oh man, there's a big festival. Festival Los Angeles. One sec. I know what it is. This is it. You might recognize these names then, I guess. You would like these. Open image, new tab. There we go. He's trying to get me to go to this show. It's happening in LA.
Postal Service, Death Cab for Cutie. Oh no, man, Passion Pit. Yeah, Two Door Cinema Club. Yeah, Metric, Tegan and Sarah. Yeah.
I love Metric. Yeah, and I've seen
nice.
Sleigh Bells before. She used to have that song "Crown on the Ground."
Metric is Canadian, I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh, okay. Canada in the house.
So. I think Metric's Canadian.
So is Drake. Drake is Canadian too, apparently.
Very true. Yeah. It goes, and Justin Bieber is Canadian. So it
but
goes
y'all,
one way or the other.
y'all don't claim those, right? You're like, we don't claim them.
Yeah. We're either all in or all out.
There's
no in between.
There's no in between. Okay, cool. Good music stuff. Okay, here let's get to some of the questions that the students were asking too. Awesome. Yeah, we got sweet. Okay, Unaccessible said, let's see. Why did the chicken cross the road in a literal sense? Okay, why did the chicken cross the road? But then they say, oh, also, how do I help with my ADHD? And I think this came up because this was in your bio that you wrote for us, right? You apparently studied a lot of like ADHD type stuff.
Yeah. So the backstory here is a couple of years ago, I had a student that came into one of my calculus classes, and I could clearly see that he was a very skilled individual, just like based on the conversations and based on kind of, just the way he was jotting down stuff, but just didn't know how to collect thought and didn't know how to, couldn't retain that focus in class, in a classroom kind of setting, if that made sense.
Right.
So him and I did a lot of work on trying to figure out what kind of things would work to help him with his education, which led me to reading a lot of stuff. And we've actually co-presented in a couple of different situations on ADHD.
Oh, wow.
Across Canada.
What's something?
Yeah.
What are some cool findings you've had from that? Like ways to combat ADHD for learning? I'm sure the kids here would love to know. Everyone here has ADHD.
Yeah, everyone has ADHD, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why? So why did the chicken cross the road? For those of you that have ADHD, maybe there's a really tempting bug on the other side. I don't know. But anyway, back to ADHD. It's from what I have learned from working, and so if you come to my channel and you've chatted with Levi is the person that you want to talk with.
Okay.
And a lot of it was structuring it in such a way that kind of made sense for him. So he used Pomodoro technique, which is a very common technique where you kind of give yourself little rewards for doing minute tasks, and you build up the tasks over time. So that really worked for him in the initial stages.
It calls Pomodoro timers, I think, right? It's like 50 minutes of working, 10 minutes of break. 50 minutes of working, 10 minutes of break.
Right. And the hard part about ADHD is sometimes students will call it like, where do the claws go? Like you start to get hyper focused on a thing. So it's a matter of understanding when you get hyper focused on something and having a technique that can pull your focus back to what you want to look at.
Okay.
And that's really fucking hard to do, I think, as an individual with ADHD. But you really need to find somebody that can help you with strategies of how to mitigate where to focus those claws, so to speak.
Okay, very cool.
So for us, for example, we spent a lot of time on like, he would be like, okay, I'm going to allocate 1 hour to do this assignment. And then I would be the person that was like, no, you're going to allocate 3 hours because you're going to get distracted and do a thing.
We already know what's going to happen.
Right. And you really need to give yourself like 4 times the amount of time as a normal human being. And like, I just had to be realistic with him. Like, but he needed to hear that, right?
Like there's a built-in like efficiency factor where you say, yes, cool. If you were a perfect Carnot cycle engine and whatnot, and we could get the full out of it, great. But you're a gas guzzler, so we need to put the tank up.
Yeah. So he found out through just trial and error that like actually working at like in a pub situation or like a coffee shop situation was really good for him.
Really? I would think there's a lot of distractions there, no?
Exactly. But the interesting thing from his perspective was the distractions were so minute that he just didn't care about them. Right? Like he never got hyper focused on those particular distractions. Whereas if he was working at the university or at the college, he might get hyper focused on an individual that walked by that was in his class, right?
I see.
And he'd be thinking about, right? So anything that would get him hyper focused on not his mathematics was a distraction.
The shiny objects.
You need to remove him. Yeah, you need to remove the shiny objects and make them just not shiny enough that you don't care about them.
You're just like, no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have no immediate ways to tell people what to do other than they just need to kind of do it
trial and error.
Like
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just gotta try some stuff and see what works for you because it's not the same for everybody.
Yeah, you can like sit back. I say you can sit back and armchair theory like all you want, but at the end of the day, you have to test. You have to be like, okay, but like maybe I don't know what distracts me and what does.
Yes, you need to figure out what distracts you, and you need to figure out how to undistract yourself from those distractions. And for Levi, it was just getting out of the environment that was distracting.
Oh wow, that is so counterintuitive because usually I would think I can't really work at coffee shops because I tend to focus on what's this person, what are they ordering, what are they wearing, like those things like grab my attention really quickly. But yeah, I guess for Levi, those things aren't shiny enough, so he's like, nah, I don't need them.
But if I go to the coffee shop or to the pub and have a beer with him, and I'm like, hey, I worked on this super cool like differential equation problem today. He's just like, holy shit, like now I can't focus on any of the work I have to do. I have to solve this problem you're talking about, right? Like it's so funny.
Oh wow.
Like how we can get hyper focused on like a very, right, like that to him is very exciting, and he will not do anything until after he solves that problem.
He's a savant in like certain things. Yeah, this happens a lot with these kind of higher. I'm sure you've experienced this probably. You've been a professor for how long? Sorry.
I've been teaching since probably about 2008, so 2008. So
oh my gosh! Wow.
It's been a hot second.
Wow. Yeah, that's a hot minute.
Yeah.
I think I graduated high school in 08. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for aging me, Gold.
You look younger than me. Pencenter. Chill. I've got too many tree lines from all the scarred experiences I've had in Los Angeles. But I was gonna say, with that much teaching experience, you've probably come across like some absolute geniuses sometimes, where you're like, you are amazing at like this one thing, but you can't tie your shoes. You know?
Yeah, like honestly, I will be completely honest that Levi was one of those individuals where I was like, man, you are so much, you could do so much more than what I can even think about doing.
Right.
So that was also part of the reason why it's like, we need to figure out what's happening here so that you can become this, right? And I think like as a teacher, that's what we see.
Yeah.
Like we can kind of sometimes see the future and where students can go, and we try our best to get them there.
Or steer them away from the wrong futures. You're like, I see the path you're going, dude. Like, don't do this.
Yeah.
It's not a good one.
Yeah. So the good teachers, like students, the good teachers will try to get you there. Yeah, totally.
Oh wow, that's super cool. Yeah, no, that's a very that's a great observation. That yeah, as teachers, your job is not only just to teach again, math, science, the quadratic equation. I know all this stuff like bores kids to death, but it's like you're becoming another parent where you see you can obviously notice behaviors about kids in class because you spend so many hours with them, and you see like, okay, well, we need to change this. It's not just that we need you to be able to memorize what this chemical reaction does. It's like we need to also, I guess with the Levi thing was, yeah, cool. We need to find an environment that you're not getting distracted in. Oh.
Right. And once we found that environment, it's like, okay. And I'm going to be completely fair here. Like it took us, I think, the better part of 2 years to figure out what to do. Right. Like he did not succeed as good as he could have in my class. But
sure,
we spent the better part of 2 years figuring it out. And I think from what I've heard, he's doing very well in the rest of his. He's just finishing up his undergrad degree now in math and computer science. So
see, look at that. You changed lives. I think that's, again, going on a little bit of a tangent. I think that's why we do what we like to do, right, Pencenter? We like to teach because you're literally affecting the trajectories of humans. You're like, okay, but for the better usually.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I like to think that I help more lives than I hinder, right? That's
yeah, we do. Was it the Hippocratic oath, like do no harm? But we're like, oh, just do more good than harm, you know.
Do more good than harm, basically.
Do more good than harm.
Yeah.
Jamarcus says, I had to do another math Olympiad type test today. I cried. Dude, the questions, you've seen some of the ones that Jamarcus gets, right? These like insane geometry questions. Man. Bro, they frustrate me. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those are
I feel like
hard questions.
I feel like this would kick me out of math. I understand his parents are putting him through this because I think they see like a kid who's gifted in math and they want to give him like a challenge because obviously school is not hard for him. But I think throwing these types of questions at a kid this young will kind of discourage you out of the field. I don't know, because I'd be like, yo, fuck this. Like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, I think there's a better way to do it other than just because you're signed up for some extra credit doesn't necessarily mean that you're pointed in the right direction. If that
exactly.
Makes sense. I think I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Jamarcus says my parents have.
I'd rather just.
Yeah. No. Go on. You're good. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'd rather just honestly I'd rather just say, hey, Jamarcus, let's work on something you're super curious about.
Yeah.
And see where that goes. Right.
I agree, and I think that's what he is doing now with some vector linear algebra class or something. Because I see him asking questions sometimes on our Discord where he's like, "Oh, hey, what's this?"
Did you say linear algebra? Did you say
I know he loves linear algebra.
Okay, I got it.
I'll admit, I used to hate linear algebra until Noyce started actually teaching me, which was interesting. He started because I've kind of put that in the back of my head of trauma that I don't deal with, but he started asking it during my streams. He'd be like, "Hey, Dr. Gold, I want you to solve this eigenvalue question, or I want you to solve this question of where does the line hit the point or something." I was like, "Oh fuck, man," and I don't know, it helped me. I kind of got over it.
No, it's true. He's been doing that with me. He knows I don't like differential equations, but he'll casually drop in and be like, "Hey, let's solve this differential equations question together." I'm like, "You sly son of a gun!
You sly son of a bitch! You got us, dude." We learned so much from the youth. You got him.
Yeah, you got me.
Jamarcus says, my parents have such high expectations for what I can do in terms of math and stuff, which I want to meet, but I feel like I'm a disappointment to them sometimes. This was one of those times.
Ooh.
Jamarcus, no, dude, you're not a disappointment, dude. What? No.
But it's hard, Gold, because I get what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, and maybe you can mirror this too, but I've been there, right? Where it's I've taken a course and I was I thought I could do really well in it, but I literally just bombed the shit out of it, right?
Yeah.
For me, that was, we make fun of me all the time for not liking geometry, but I hate topology.
Topology? I don't even know what topology is.
Topology, yeah. And so I had, and it wasn't the teacher. I had a fantastic teacher. He explained things really well. But I left that class. I'm like, man, I feel like a literal dum-dum.
Yeah, you hit the wall. You hit the wall of the intelligence. You're like, uh-oh, no.
Yeah. So I understand that feeling, right? I get that.
I had that in quantum mechanics in grad school. So it used to be, in undergrad, I could get through all my physics classes just kind of, studying last minute. Everything made sense. And then I got to grad school. It was my second semester in quantum, and no matter how much I stared at the material and whatnot, I could not get it. And I'd never experienced this. This was like a moment of, I was like, oh shit, am I broken? Did I break the matrix? I ended up failing the class because I couldn't get it. And it was the weirdest feeling to me. So it happens to everyone.
Yeah, I think this situation's a little different, right? Like in your situation and my situation, like we signed up for a course that we thought we could succeed in and got like the shit kicked out of us. Where this situation is like, maybe it's like hey, like this is like talk to your parents and be like, hey, like I'm kind of feeling a little stressed out about your expectations that I think you're putting onto me.
Sure.
And I know that's hard when you're not, when you're a young kid, that's hard. That's a hard conversation to have. Mm-hmm. But if you can figure out how to navigate that situation when you're young with your parents, it'll make a big difference as you get older.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, being able to, I think there's also probably a cultural thing, I guess, growing up in different families. I know certain cultures, it's like, don't ever question your parents. Your parents say this, you're going to do this. Where other ones,
is Jamarcus American? I can't remember.
He's Canadian, I think. Wait, Jamarcus, are you in Canada?
Oh, Canadian.
Is he Canadian? Wait, Jamarcus.
I mean, like we fucking apologize to.
Oh, he says he's Indian. He says he's Indian. He comes from an Indian family. Okay,
he's Indian.
So that goes into a whole other thing. Do you already have a wife? Do you already have a wife, Jamarcus? They already picked that for you.
He's got to save himself from the sandal.
The sandal, the chanclas. Beware the chanclas. The sandals. Living in Cheeseburger Land. Oh, so he's Indian living in America. I actually have a lot of students here who are Indian, Indian, ethnicity, but they live in either the U.S. or Canada. I said Canada because I know there are a lot of Indians living in Canada. I see that on my Discord. Like, yeah.
We and that's very political, right? Like Canada typically has a very good political relationship with India and allows relatively seamless
a lot of visas,
immigration.
Yeah. Except when the whole assassination thing starts happening, and then they're just like, "Uh-oh."
That was a bit weird. Yeah,
that was a bit weird.
I don't know what to say. I didn't follow that story, but that was a bit weird. Yeah,
it was a weird one. But yeah, Jamarcus, and I've talked to just to close out Jamarcus. I think the issue is that his parents have already spent like $3,000 on this like course, and so he can't really quit. But I see it doing more harm than good because I feel like what it's doing is it's just making him feel like an imposter. It's like an imposter syndrome thing where like you're just feeling like a failure because Jamarcus, like you've brought some questions to my stream. I can't get it. Hypatia can't get it. And these are PhD level math people. And if we can't get it, don't feel bad that you can't. You're in 8th grade. It's okay.
And who was asking about the who was in here first? Asked saying that they were going to be doing some math Olympiad stuff.
Ethan was, yeah.
Oh, Ethan, yeah. So it's the same. You just got to do you just have to practice a lot of stuff, right? The only way to get good at these weird questions is to just do a lot of these weird questions. So you shouldn't. I don't think you should be let down if you can't do it the very first time you see it. Yeah,
and I again, some savants can see something. And they can be, instantly I know the solution. But for 99% of the time when I see a question, if you're like, oh, you're so smart, Dr. Gold, how did you get this? And I say, because I've already seen it. I've already seen this before. I know the trick.
And it's not just that we've seen it. We've seen it and we've had to use that trick or that application many times. A lot.
Yeah, there's a pattern.
I look at some of Jamarcus's questions. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know how to even start this question, right?
Yeah.
Like give me a thread to pull and then maybe I can go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't even see the thread yet.
I think Danny's I was on Danny's stream before because I gave him one of Jamarcus's questions and he just looked at this and he was like, oh. He was like, no. He's like, I hate this. I hate geometry. I was like, I also hate geometry for the reason of, it's the threads you're trying to pull. Like most of the time it's just some random theorem we've never heard about. That, okay, for whatever reason, if it passes through the diameter, this is 90 degrees on the inscribed, whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, okay, but I don't know that. It's not in my toolbox.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if you don't use it, our brains are just set up to kind of forget that.
Use it or lose it. So. What's up, Enigma? Who is Enigma, by the way? I don't think I've ever met Enigma, like on a voice chat or anything. Or does Enigma stream? I know Enigma makes the bot all you guys use, but I don't think I've ever met Enigma.
Yeah, Enigma is our bot creator, and he is also a part of our real analysis class. So if you do want a voice reveal, just like pop into Zach's real analysis class in the evenings.
Okay. I was on it last night. Yeah, okay. I'll have to look for which name he is. I do not stream yet, probably. You should stream. Enigma what? We need more streamers. That's super cool.
I'd be into it, Enigma. You should start making some podcasts, man. I'd listen to that.
What is it? Enigma. Well, you can tell us in the chat, but like, what do you do, Enigma? I'm just curious. I don't have any background on who Enigma is.
What do you do?
Yeah. Who is your daddy, and what do you do? Enigma's an engineering student. Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, he's up in Canada, I believe, as well.
Ah, okay. Like University of Waterloo or something. One of those.
Sorry, Gold, but what the fuck was that?
What the fuck was what? What the fuck was what? Sensation.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Jesus.
What is this thing? Oh, Goldilocks here. What's up, Habib? Good to see you, dude. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Dr. Gold, can we go over my first Canada-related question? If so, what was... Okay, sorry. What was his Canada-related question? Sorry, what was his Canada-related question? Oh, okay. All right, so we did the ADHD.
That's
okay,
a good question.
How many moose do you politely drink maple syrup with on an average minus 20-degree day? What?
Yeah, I would say like on average it's probably about 17.
17. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's usually about 3 or 4 that are unpolitely drinking maple syrup.
What does it mean for a moose to unpolitely drink maple syrup with you?
I have no idea.
I don't even want to know, dude. Doesn't sound good.
It was the politely drinking was just very odd to me. So.
Enigma says minus 20 is beach weather? Bro, what?
Yeah, well, yeah.
You guys do centigrade though, right? Centigrade's your whole thing, right? Is it centigrade?
We do centigrade. So yeah, negative 20 centigrade's pretty cold. Here.
Negative 20 C is... Oh wait, no, that's 20 degrees. Negative 20.
Minus 36, I think.
Is it minus 30? It's negative 4 Fahrenheit. Oh my god, no.
Oh, negative the other way.
That is way too cold. I would not do that.
Yeah, where do we meet again? Is it around like negative 30 where centigrade and Fahrenheit meet, or negative 40 somewhere?
Oh yeah. Well, it's 9/5 plus 32. Oh, you're saying what's the intersection?
Minus 32 Fahrenheit is 0.
Minus 32 Fahrenheit. No, minus 32 centigrade is... Wait, what? Excuse me, what?
No, minus 32 Fahrenheit is 0.
This
positive 32 Fahrenheit, I believe, is 0.
Yeah, I understand that. But, you're saying where do they equal each other? I think is what we're saying, right?
Yeah, they equal each other somewhere in the negatives. I just can't remember where.
I'm just going to brute force it.
Of course, Enigma knows the formula. This guy, oh my.
Yeah, God. I know it's 1.8. It's 9/5. I know, dude, but like.
It's like negative 30 or like negative. It's like it's.
Oh, it's close. It's close. 39. Negative 39. Negative 39-ish. Negative 40. Oh, okay, man. There we go. Oh, crazy. It's 40. It's negative. Thank you, Zone Ranger. I appreciate that.
Negative. Okay, so negative 40. Negative 40. They meet. Like,
dude, but when is there anywhere on Earth that is negative 40 degrees?
Of course,
I don't think so.
I've lived in negative 40 before. Yeah.
No way.
Siberia.
Yeah, when David and I lived in Winnipeg, we would often get about a 2-week stretch of winter.
Bro, what? It's minus 98 in Antarctica?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ! What?
Oh my God! Put in negative 50. Put in negative 50 centigrade and figure out how much that is in Fahrenheit.
Oh, too much, dude. Negative 58 Fahrenheit. Wow, that is super cold.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
So we would
there.
often have about 2 weeks worth of winter weather where that's what we would live in for about 2 weeks.
That's like dangerous to have any exposed skin for like more than like a minute.
Oh yeah, you were completely covered up, like just huddled, like being like, where the fuck is the bus?
Yeah, fuck, dude. I wouldn't go outside. Oh my God. I thought I had it bad when it dropped below 0. What?
Yes. On the West Coast, yeah, that's a pretty cold day.
Yeah, the West Coast. This is like the coldest I'll deal with is like 40 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's below 40, I'm not going outside. which is 4 for you guys.
Yeah, that's why they say West Coast, best coast, right?
West Coast, West Coast. I say I'm a desert child. I like the
gotta deal with
heat.
that shit.
I love the heat. Do you not like the heat, Pencenter? Do you like the heat?
I have days. I hate sand. That's my big thing. I don't necessarily mind the heat, but I hate sand. Like I just don't like going to the beach.
So you and like Darth Vader like have a lot in common, right? Darth Vader hated the sand. Do I have any like?
Sand is pain. Yeah, sand is pain. Big Daddy gets me. Big Daddy gets me.
Sand is pain.
Sand is
dude.
pain. Especially when you go into the water and then you come out of the water and then like you just can't get rid of the sand.
Yeah, there's sand everywhere. I used to live
hate that.
like 20 or 30 miles away from the beach, but people would always comment. They'd be like, "Why the fuck is there sand in your bedroom?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, because I go surfing, and then I come back, and then there's just sand." And they're like, "How did the sand make it all the way out
sand
here?"
everywhere.
Yeah, sand is pain.
Sand everywhere.
Oh man. Okay, so that was Jamarcus' question about the maple syrup. Okay, actual question. What was the one moment/event that made you want to pursue a career in math or love math? Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, do you have a singular moment where you can point to, like, this is what... I know what pointed me to learn physics, so I'm curious, what was yours for math?
Yeah. Am I allowed to badmouth teachers on this channel? Though?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. I mean, as long as it's not racist or
I mean, I know we're teachers, so I don't want to, like... I don't want
to... math teachers, it's okay.
I don't want to, like, make this like, this does not apply to all teachers.
Okay, yeah, not all teachers. It's a hashtag not all teachers.
But there are some teachers where, oh man, how do I put this in a very eloquent way? So I actually went into teaching, but I was supposed to be teaching at the elementary school level.
Okay.
So I was taking a lot of education classes rather than mathematics and science classes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I was in one of my education classes, and I had this interaction with my teacher where we kind of talked past each other, like we just couldn't understand what each one of us was saying.
Okay.
And I tried to write like an essay to explain my situation. I got an F on that essay. And then when I went to talk to her in her office hours, she was like, "Oh, like do this thing and on the next thing and you'll get an A," right? And I walked into her office hours being like trying not to be an instigator, and I tried to like talk her language and like talk how she wanted me to talk. And I had like a moment where I was like, "Oh, you actually don't care about my opinion. You just care about me saying what you think about this situation."
Yeah.
Right. And so as soon I had that moment, and I was like, "Oh, this is why I don't belong in education. This is why I need to go somewhere else."
Sure.
So for me, that was like my defining moment where I was like, okay, I can't teach at the elementary or high school level because I would need to go through the education faculty to do that.
And dude, it's so much red tape.
Step, which is
it's so much red tape.
Yeah, there's a lot of red tape. Yeah, a lot of red tape down there.
I always say this. I feel like there needs to be red tape.
Do you have your PhD? Do you have your master's or PhD? Or...
PhD. I have a PhD. Yeah.
PhD. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of like I'm sure you've kind of like navigated those weird waters too, right?
Oh yeah, no. Well, yeah, and that's honestly why I got out of academia is because I got tired of all the red tape, all the administrators, all the overhead, all the bullshit. But and especially people have even asked me now, they're like, "Why don't you go teach at a school? Why don't you go teach blah blah blah?" And I'm just like, because all the red tape would get in the way of me trying to like do good. It wouldn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think, again, I understand why we have red tape for kids. It's because they're kids, right? You have to put some red tape when they're that young because they're so impressionable and stuff to keep the bad actors out. When they get older, when they're in high school, college, if you have a bad teacher, the kids can usually fight for themselves. So I understand why at the elementary level they do it.
But it's like I'm talking like this was a university level class.
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
Like I went to this institution because I thought that I could better myself as a person, right? And like actually explore different ideas and try to piece together different viewpoints. Like for me, that's the point of going and getting a higher education.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I couldn't do that. Like in that moment in time, I was like, "Oh, you are like literally just like you're the bouncer." Right? That's going to be like if I failed that course, like I couldn't have got my degree to be able to teach at elementary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the red tape, dude. I can't do the red tape.
It was a very, very eye-opening moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they do that gatekeeping to kind of like justify their own existence type thing. They're like, I don't know. in order for there to be an us, there has to be a them, right? So they say, oh, here are all these hoops you have to jump through in order to join our cool kid club, so that we can justify that, like, that's why we have all these rules and stuff. I don't know. It's I don't like it.
Yeah. I could hypothesize, but after a couple of drinks, I probably shouldn't.
It's okay. Enigma says usually research-based versus masters, which can be class-based. Yeah, so I don't know. In the U.S., at least in STEM class, because people always ask me, do you have a master's, do you have a PhD? And I always say I technically have both, because they give you the master's on the way to the PhD, at least in U.S. University programs. You only get the if you see someone...
It's pretty similar in Canada. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. If you get a master's in physics in the U.S., it means you screwed up. Because the only way you get a master's in physics is if you don't get the PhD. It's kind of like the consolation prize they give you.
Oh,
it's different. Okay. It's different than, for instance, people go to get a master's in engineering, or they go to get a master's in education, or a master's in this. That makes sense. Nobody goes to get a master's in physics. You go to get a PhD in physics. And if you don't get the PhD, but you at least pass like your qualifying exams and maybe do an oral presentation, they'll let you leave with a master's. But it's known as like you messed up. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know where Enigma's in Canada. Yeah. So yeah, Enigma engineering masters are great. That's cool. I know a ton of people get masters in engineering, and honestly, getting a PhD in engineering is seen as a waste, at least for the industry, I think, because you're almost too overly qualified in a really specific subject that it makes you hard to even hire, because they're like, well, bro, like, your PhD is in like the torsional strength of like nano semiconductors, and we don't do that.
Did our boy just say he's gonna get a mathematics master's? What?
Ooh, okay, mathematics masters. Nice. Is that a thing? Do people just go for math masters? I don't know. I think it's the same thing in the U.S. I think it's you go for a PhD. You don't just go for a master's.
I think it depends. So I applied specifically for a I have a double master's. So
okay.
I specifically applied for a master's program and not a PhD program, but I think you can do both at the same time.
Okay. Well, someone here in the chat says, there are a lot of problems that offer masters from math or physics that don't have a PhD program in the U.S., though. Maybe. I mean, maybe that's changed since I've applied, but for me, I know if you had an undergrad degree in physics and you wanted to go to grad school, PhD was the only thing you applied for. You didn't apply for math. Unless, again, if you're trying to teach physics at a community college or high school or something, it probably helps to have a quote-unquote master's in physics. But a lot of times you're going for the PhD because that's how you're getting your tuition paid for, is that you're doing research, and that research is getting paid by a grant, and that's only for PhD candidates. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and that's very similar in Canada. Although the community colleges in Canada, most of them will have a minimal requirement of a master's to be able to teach at that community college.
Exactly.
Which is kind of where we're at, where I'm from. Yeah.
Okay. I think it depends on institution. My PhD advisor program did not have a master's, but mine did. Yeah, I have 2 pieces of paper. I have the master's in physics I got for passing my comp exam, which was brutal. They failed a third of my class. They do this on purpose. I thought it was the most fucked up shit. Yeah. So you spend all this time applying to grad programs. I applied to like 12. I got accepted to like 1 or 2. You get in. They pay for your tuition. They give you this stipend. They give you a scholarship, and then at the end of the year, they cut a third of them, and it's like bye. And I'm just like, what was the point? Why did we make this exam? And they curve it on a scale so they have to fail at least a third of the kids. So it's not like everybody can succeed. It's like whatever the curve is, you need to beat the bottom third. It's almost like gladiator training or something. It's terrible. But
yeah, but I think that probably comes back to like the institution has so many grants and they can only offer so many grants to students, right? So they have to kind of weed out certain students. Yeah.
Enigma says, can they retake the class? So the exam. You can retake the comp exam. The whole problem is, so at least, sorry, it's a little bit of a tangent, but in grad school, your first year, you don't do really any research. You take general grad level physics classes, which is mechanics, E&M, thermo, and quantum. And then the exam at the end of the year is over all of that. And then if you pass, the next year you join an advisor in whatever subject you're going, and then you only take subject specific. So for me, it was plasma physics. So my next second year, I only took plasma physics classes. If you fail the comp, your second year, you're expected to still pick a specialty class and pick advisor to research, but you're also expected to, on your own, restudy all those other classes that you're not involved with to retake the exam next year. And it's a huge shadow over your head because you're trying to learn the next level of physics that you actually want to be interested in, but you're having to remember that, oh wait, I still need to study quantum and thermo, which I hate both of those subjects of physics. I don't like. I'm learning to warm up to them, but yeah, it's a big deterrent. I have a lengthy story about a friend who had to retake it. He passed, got like first place in the second round, but then he died to an avalanche like 2 weeks later. So it was like, what? For what? What was the? I know, right? When that happened to me, I was like, yo, fuck any of this. Like, life's too short. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, seriously.
Anyways, happier notes. Okay, Jamarcus, actually, okay, so that was your moment. That was your moment that wanted you to pursue a career in math, I guess, is what Jamarcus had. And then Taco Cat said, one moment in your life that changed everything. I think this is more broad sense. It doesn't have to be specifically math.
Ooh.
But, like, everything. That's a big one. Like, what changed Yeah, Monkey's like my question now, yeah. Changed everything.
Oh, is that Monkey's Taco Cat?
Yeah, Monkey's Taco Cat, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, man. So, that changed everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really tough. I mean, there are a couple moments I think in the last couple years, but I'm not sure I'm super comfortable sharing them on stream, if that
Okay,
makes sense.
No, totally. Yeah, because you have a lot of other life things going along, right? You know, you have a male partner and everything like this. There's a whole other series of life there. I'm sure you don't have to like go into.
Yeah. There's just been a lot of stuff that's happened like in the last couple of years that have like really, I think, like pushed me back towards like a more conservative approach to like religion, and have pushed me back more to like a more conservative approach to just like supplying to my family, right? Like, which is why I've become kind of a local farmer. So there has been a lot of stuff I think in the last couple of years that has pointed me in that direction.
Were you raised religious?
Opening.
Were you raised religious? I guess just
that stuff we can open up. We can open up that can of
open
worms.
that a little bit.
Totally happy with that.
Sure.
But I don't like people probably don't want to talk about COVID and all the policies and all the.
Oh yeah. Oh, in Canada, y'all had the truckers and stuff, right? They were like the semi trucks blocking the streets. Y'all had some crazy shit going on.
Yeah. There's like I mean, we can talk about it. I just don't know if your audience cares, right? And I don't want to harp on it.
No, it's okay. You can talk about whatever. It's an AMA. Actually, and this is what I also say is, a lot of the kids in my Discord will talk about things that they can't talk about in school because they are taboo, right? I have kids that have certain feelings, thoughts, and stuff, but they know they can't say that in real life because they'll immediately get slammed as being, I don't know, sexist, racist, homophobe, or whatever. And I say it's okay to have those thoughts. Like, I think when we repress these things and don't actually talk about them, that's when things get dangerous and kids start shooting up schools. Is because you have feelings. Let's talk about why you're having these feelings, and then we can try to correct instead of shaming. So no, the kids love it. They love everything. I say I have an open forum. I don't have any fucking rules.
Yeah, okay. So I love that thought process and like your approach to thinking about this situation, because I mean, I certainly have some reservations about talking about some of this stuff, and because I'm always concerned about how other people will view me after they understand how I think about things.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
So I grew up like super like Roman Catholic. So
same.
Very
Catholic bros.
Right, like a very nice. So like a very religious family, right? Like we went to church every weekend. Like we lived in like a super tiny town, right? Like where everything was hyper local, and like we grew everything, and like you'd go to your farmer and like buy a cow, right?
This sounds like a nice life, dude. It sounds wholesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
He's like, until
and then like somewhere, and then like somewhere along the way, you kind of, you want to break apart a little, like as a teenager, you kind of want to fly away and spread your wings a little bit, right?
Sure, yeah.
So I kind of went to school, and left my family and like lived in the big cities for a long time. And I had fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed my friends and my life at those particular times. But I think I've hit like that situation in the last couple of years where I've kind of flipped the switch a little bit, and I'm like, okay, like maybe it's not necessarily about me anymore, because that's what I felt like when I left home.
Yeah.
Like I felt a little selfish, like I was pursuing things that I did want to do,
Right.
and I'm happy that I did that, but at what expense did I do that, right?
I see.
Like I think I definitely fractured a little bit of my relationship with my family to some extent. And I think it's not necessarily all my fault for doing that. Like, it's from both sides. But I do carry that with me.
And you're like, you could have done more,
bit.
maybe, to like try to like stay in touch more.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it, right? And now that like my family and I, like, we live at least a 3-hour airplane ride away from each other.
Okay.
Like, I just don't get to talk to them as much. I'm trying now to be proactive and like reach out to them every week and talk to them more and open up that conversation. But when you don't talk to them, like when you don't talk to your family and like your really close friends for years, it becomes hard to really open up those conversations, right? Like, you don't know them as well as you did when you were like in high school.
Yeah, you're not as open and whatnot. No, I get that totally. It's something that hit me recently.
Like if
Go on. You're good. Go.
Yeah, go. No, I was gonna say, if I had like one like really strong piece of advice, it's like, like you might dislike your family right now, like your parents.
Yeah, no, they're like,
but,
fuck
like,
dad. I hate them.
But I felt that way too. But like, they will always be there. Like, they will always be a rock if you have the ability to make them a rock for you, right? And that's something that I totally missed that as a teenager.
Yeah.
And I'm just starting to learn that now. And it's like, and I'm worried that I've wasted too much time not seeing that.
No, I see. And you're not alone. I went through almost exactly the same situation. So when I was in high school, my parents were super protective, right? They wouldn't let me drive in other people's cars. They wouldn't let me go out to parties and like all these things, which I was kind of like glad. Looking back, I'm like, thank you, because it got me out of trouble in high school. So when I got to college, I was basically like, fuck you, parents. I'm so glad I'm out of the house. I'm going to go fucking crazy. And I did. Like, I was an animal. I was throwing parties every weekend. I was blacking out every other weekend, and I wouldn't call home. I wouldn't talk to my parents. I was like, finally I'm free, right? I'm like, yay. And then as you get older, you start to realize, you're like, wait a minute, because like, you'll make friends and stuff, and great, but the only people that always have your back no matter what and only want the best for you and have no other hidden agenda are your parents.
Your family is usually the only ones that fall in that category.
Exactly. So, I know, and I'm sure some of the kids here in this Discord are of the same thought belief, right? I get it. I hated my parents too when I was your age, because I was an angsty teenager and they didn't let me do things. And then you go and do the things, and then you start to kind of realize, wait, what's actually important in life, though? And something that really hit me, what I want to say was, I saw somewhere that, how often do you see your parents' pencenter, like, per year? I see them like once a year.
If I'm lucky, I'll see my parents once a year.
Yeah, once or twice a year, right? And so, like, my parents are probably upper 60s, 70s, right? God willing, maybe they'll live another
the same age. Yeah,
they'll probably live another 20, 30 years. So if I think about it, I only have 20 or 30 more times that I interact with them, and that like hit me in the face of like, oh fuck, like aging is a thing. Because every time I see them, it's another notch off. Like, I only get to see them another like 28, 29 times or something. I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah, it's a fucking weird realization, isn't it? Where you're like, you're erasing the check marks rather than putting the check marks on.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really, really, really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that's I appreciate you opening up about that, because I think that's something I definitely went through 100%. I think that's something incredibly relevant to what the kids are probably going through now, because they're in the, I just want to get away from my parents right now phase. And then, but trust, you'll come back.
And I mean, I can elaborate. I can elaborate a little bit on that too. Like, a lot of it was because like I grew up in a super small, very religious town.
Sure.
And I mean, obviously, your viewers know now that I'm in a same-sex relationship, right?
Sure.
Obviously, and I love my husband and everything.
That's great.
But like growing up as a teenager, and that was really fucking hard, right? It was like I didn't even know how to navigate that situation. Like, I'm from a small town in the fucking 90s, and nobody.
The 90s, yeah. They're just like they think being gay is contagious.
Yeah, like I don't even know what's going on, right? I'm just like a teenager with lots of hormones, right?
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
So like, of course I wanted to leave. I'm like, get me the fuck out of Cowtown, right?
Yes,
go
please.
to the city where like people understand what's happening,
and they know how to dress at least,
out, right? yeah, exactly. So like, I mean, there were some other reasons why that happened, obviously, right? But that's kind of a little more context as to why I needed to escape.
No, I get it. Yeah, because you were you would have probably, and honestly, it's probably a good thing you did. Because you probably would have felt like you're in a bit of a cage, you know. I know this because my sister recently came out as being gay, and my mother is Catholic, and it's taking my mom a lot to get through that, I guess, because they grew up at different times. To my mother, she's like, my sister's confused, and I'm like, okay, but we can't say that. like feelings are a real thing, you know, like, but I get it, but it's because that's how she was raised. It's different times, you know. Nowadays, you can be whatever you want. You can be a fucking attack helicopter if you want. Like, no one cares. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's on my resume. So
yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Cool. No, I appreciate that. That's good. So moment in your life was probably like leaving and then like coming back. I get that. That's probably like a changing moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I had like the whole prodigal son moment there, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. I try to make
Will they accept me? Will they accept me again?
They always do. They're your parents.
Totally.
They love you. Like, you know, at the end of the day, like
exactly. They're your parents. Yeah.
They're your parents. Your parents may say some shit. They always love you at the end of the day. Yeah. I try to call my parents once a week now, and because I had a falling out with my parents in college because I just wouldn't call them ever, and my mother used to be like, why are you just shaming us? Why are you not talking to us? And I was kind of like, well, I'm kind of busy. I'm doing my own thing, and then as I got older, you know, my dad kind of had a talk and it was like, you know, you need to call mom at least once a week, and I was like, oh, okay. And then you get it.
Is your dad like buffer dad? Is your dad?
Yeah, my dad is. My dad is. My dad is. Yeah. My mother is Sicilian Catholic woman who's like very huge on family, all this type stuff and whatnot. My dad is the more rational neurosurgeon, like, you know, logical thinking person. So he's the communication channel of like, well, if you want mom to not be mad at you, this is what you need to do. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So.
yeah. We love buffer dads on this channel.
We love buffer dads. Yeah. All right.
Hey,
cool.
Good evening, Gold and Pencenter.
What's up, Hypatia? Good to see you.
That's dope.
How's life?
Hey, what you talking about?
We were talking about our upbringings and our childhoods.
We're talking about category. We're talking about category theory.
Category theory.
What kind of category theory?
I'm just playing with you. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Hypatia. Hypatia, you know what? I need to get you on one of these AMAs. I think you'd be a super interesting guest as well, Hypatia, because you have a whole crazy story of, you know, you're transgender and you ran away from China and like the Communist Party. Like, you have so much to talk about, which would be really cool.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when you're free, you want to schedule me, just tell me about it.
I will. I'm doing this thing. I think I have an idea for the podcast where I think I'm gonna alternate weeks. Where like 1 week I'll do something that's like very far away from math and science. In this case, last week was like a video game streamer or video game tester and whatnot. And then this week
about the computer graphics.
No, not as much. It was more the kids wanted to learn about like what does it mean to test video games and, you know, is it all what it's hyped up to be, and they wanted to learn about Halo and stuff. And then I wanted this stream to be kind of more towards the math and science, and then I think next week I'll find something else that's like totally left field from math and science. Maybe my one friend is he used to play professional soccer for Poland, so I think that would be a cool. Some of the kids here love sports, and I'm like, I think that'd be a cool
idea. If you want to do game development, you can teach your students some game development.
I could.
Like you can teach them translation vectors, Euler angles, maybe not quaternions, and then write a little Unity program with them, something like that.
I love it, Hypatia. Yeah, you have these high level things. This would be great.
I have a buddy that used to be a volleyball player, and he's played professional volleyball around the
Oh,
world
okay.
too. So if you
I
have
have some-
a lot of sports people, like
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, exactly. And this is what I'm trying to leverage. And honestly, I'm glad that y'all agreed to like be a part of my kind of like my guinea pig project here of doing this, because we've had these podcasts, but it's really just me talking. And then my New Year's resolution for this year was like, I need to get guests on this, because again, I love talking with people, obviously, but I think I have a network of some really cool people that I forgot I even just had in my life, and I want to be able to share that with all the kids so they can see it too. Yeah, so awesome. Let me see. Let's move along to the next question. Poop tart sandwich. I'm a senior in high school and I don't 100% know what I want to do in college, but I'm thinking something in either finance or economics, something in that area. Everyone that I've talked to hasn't really led me to choose one over the other. What is the most useful, diverse degree in these categories that I should look at pursuing? I'm currently in 3 AP classes. Good job. Statistics, psych, and comp sci. But I don't know if any of those would come into play. Thanks. I have some thoughts on this, but Pencenter, you can start off with any comments you have on this.
drop psychology, stay in statistics, and stay in computer science.
I agree. Yeah. Drop this. Do you not like psych? Do you not like psychology?
No. I mean, that's totally fine. Yeah. But I mean, if they know that they want to go into finance or economics or some combination of both, you absolutely will do statistics every day.
Yeah, statistics is like it's one of the best.
Yeah, and you'll probably do modeling, which involves some kind of computer programming every day. Mm-hmm. So those are like hands down the most important things you can take in AP for sure right now.
Yeah. Those are good. I would say even any of the math classes are great. Like you should get into like AP calculus. That's really what you should be doing. AP calculus is a great one.
Yeah, so for finance and economics, they'll need calculus, and they'll probably need a pretty strong background in linear algebra as well. They'll need to work with matrices.
Yeah, the linear algebra. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
And I can offer a little bit to... What?
Yeah, no, go for it. I'll just bug and gold a little bit.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, I mean, I was thinking about, like, I know some people working in like cryptocurrency, for example, or things like that. So I guess one of the things you want to learn is stochastic methods.
Methods?
Yeah, and also... Yes, like Markov chains or cybernetics, automatic processes, or those kind of things. They are like the computational aspects of macroeconomics or things like that.
Nice. Those are all good things. Yeah, I would say, and again, like a big thing in finance and economics, fintech is huge, right now. There's a lot of people, and that's a lot of computer programming and stuff. And there's cryptocurrencies involved. So if this person, senior in high school, yeah, I mean, I think mainly, probably if you're trying to get a degree, something in, I wouldn't get a degree in finance. I don't know. That to me, like, sounds like some bullshit frat boy like degree, but economics I could see as being useful, or computation. I know I used to offend people when they had like certain degrees. I'd be like, yo, that's a soft science.
Yeah, no, I get you. But like, I think like economics is like, if you're interested in finance, economics is so intrinsically tied to finance that you might as well just do the degree in economics.
Yes.
And see if you can kind of take the business courses in finance that you need to get your degree. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that totally. Yeah. And so when you go to college, you take the intro classes, you'll find out what you like. I also say this to kids because I have some students in my Discord who are in like the 8th grade and already know they want to be like cardiothoracic surgeons. And I'm like, what? I mean, good for you. I'm glad you already think of such a great career thing to be your like passion. But bro, you got like 10 years and I guarantee you your taste is going to change. You still got to go through high school and college.
Wild.
Yeah, I wonder where it comes from. I wonder if the kids are, just genuinely like super into it, or if it's their parents putting pressure on them of like, you need to be a doctor because I need a retirement.
No way, dude.
Yeah, right?
If you're like grade 8, no, you're not thinking that. Someone's saying, you need to be a doctor.
Yeah, you need to be a doctor because I don't have a pension and someone's got to pay for mom and dad's retirement. And that person is you.
I couldn't even say the word thoracic when I was in grade
I
eight.
couldn't either. I told him because one of my sisters is a pediatrician, my dad's neurosurgeon, and I was like, yeah, I got pressured to go into medicine, but I watched one video of open heart surgery and I puked, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
Seriously,
Can't do it.
Yeah, seriously.
Monkey
You
says
can
my
still
taste
do
will change.
neuroscience. I
Yeah,
think,
neuroscience you can
like
do. That's
that-
fine. Enigma says, I chose engineering in grade 7, actually. Oh, cool. Oh, that's good for you. I thought I wanted to be probably something in computer science. I did a lot of robotics in 7th grade. Did you ever do that Penn Center?
What grade are you?
Go on.
What grade are you in now, Enigma? Are you in like grade 9, Enigma? Is that grade 9, grade 10?
Oh, wait.
Where's
You
that
can
now?
you can be an engineering student in high school? That's a thing?
I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure he must be at like first, second year at UCal.
Yeah, uni. Yeah, please. Yeah. Like what?
He must be like 19. He must be like 18 or 19.
Oh my God.
Positive, but,
Oh my God.
I'm just giving a hard time. We give Enigma a hard time in chat. That's what
Enigma was showing this. I'll show this to the chat real quick. What was this? Jeff Suzuki, the random professor. These are some math vids you were saying that this guy makes?
Oh, of course he put.
Who's he plugging? Who's he plugging? Who is this?
Dr. Gold. No.
No, I can't watch this. What's this? Is this the next Goatsy or something? What's gonna come up?
Don't do it.
Logarithms.
That's a universal cover. Universal cover of the it's a complex analysis thing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Geometry.
Complex analysis. That was the highest level math
Oh,
class I
yeah.
took.
Yeah,
Dude, he's got
the
7K
universal cover
subs,
of
dude.
logarithm.
Oh, have you seen this
I know,
person before, Hype Show?
You fell into Enigma's trap, Gold.
Enigma's
You
trap,
fell into
dude.
his trap.
Does this dude have an OnlyFans I'm gonna subscribe for later?
You sprung a strap card.
This trap card. Oh God. Oh my
Wait,
God.
who
dude.
is Suzuki? Like, are they a Japanese mathematician?
Yeah, they probably are. I don't know. There you go. Well, here, it's in the chat. The link's in the chat there. Yeah. Audie, don't worry. We're gonna go. Okay, Yeah, let me go through more of the questions because I know everyone's got questions. Let's get through. I'm having a great time here. All right. Okay. Addie says, if you could have any superpower for a day, what would it be, and how would you use it during your stream? Ooh.
During your stream? What? Oh my God.
What? That's
wow.
cool. Superpower.
That's a cool. Okay, so if it was totally stream based, Audie, I would totally take the ability to speak any language. That would be
That's cool.
So if it was completely stream based, absolutely, right? Because then I could communicate efficiently and effectively to everybody, which is totally my dream as a teacher. Yeah.
Actually, that has even more implications. It's a de facto superpower. You can, by saying you speak every language, you basically can solve any decision problem. You become a hypercomputer, like you can crack codes, crack.
Yeah. Wait, if I can speak
like
any language, does that mean like I can speak in assembly too? Like I can speak in like some low-level coding languages?
I can speak C++.
Yeah, push 4, rem 3, sub 2. Like what? That's a good one. I could speak any language. Oh wow. Yeah.
What about you, Gold? Like if you had like a specific stream
superpower? Oh
yeah.
Probably be to like turn off all it'd be the ability to turn off all the hot girl like hot tub streams off at once. You know, just like all of Twitch can no longer simp on Twitch. That would be my superpower. And then I would force you to learn math.
Everyone's forced into the math stream.
Bro, there's some weird shit on Twitch. I didn't even realize this. Like last night or a couple nights ago, I was doing some research because I was brainstorming. I was like, Twitch ideas. And I wanted to see like what goes on. Granted, this was at like 2 o'clock in the morning. There's some weird fucking shit on Twitch. I was like, oh man. Yeah, Falcon says that would make so many people angry. Yes, but would also improve their lives significantly. I think OnlyFans has destroyed human society, to be honest.
Only benevolent dictator.
I'm a benevolent dictator. Like, I know what's good for you. So, like, yeah, just eat the cereal. Oh, my God. That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. There are fully naked women on Twitch. Yeah, I know. There's a whole fucking... Twitch actually did this. So Twitch started losing all of their viewers and streamers because they were having like kind of strict requirements on the content. And then they said, oh yeah, it's totally cool And then everyone started doing this like implied nudity, and they're like, no, this actually isn't cool. So they've had a lot of back and forth trying to like say what is allowed on Twitch. I ignore it. I'm just like, whatever. I'm just trying to teach kids math and science. So, but
yeah, they crossed a very weird line there just by allowing certain things. I'm like,
yeah. I was like,
can't walk back now.
Yeah, we can't walk back now. Yeah, there are some math streamers I think that should hot tub stream. Enigma, who do you think should hot tub stream? I've done a hot tub stream. I have done it.
Wait.
In a hot tub, I have.
Enigma, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I'm trying.
Could you imagine solving math problems in a hot tub? That'd be so hard.
So my one friend showed me a funny thing, which was, do you ever play fantasy football? Like, well,
I do not. But
yeah, my friends do. I guess.
What that means.
There's always like if someone loses, right? There's something you have to do. So for one of my friends was like you had to get a tattoo of something, or one of them is you have to sit in IHOP for 8 hours and you can't leave. The more unique one I saw was that if you lost, you had to take the math SAT at a club, and if you didn't get above a 700, you had to do it again.
Oh man. You had to better yourself.
Yeah, you had to better yourself. I forget if I have a hot tub stream.
Can you look something up for me, Gold?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
I think Maria has a really good question in chat, and if
okay, what
I
is it?
don't answer it, I'm gonna forget to.
Can someone recommend the best
Maria
books to learn how to write math proofs for absolute beginner level? All books I've found online seem to skip the steps and only write it. Okay, cool. Yeah, what's the book? Let's do it.
So if you want to look up, it's a book called How to Read and Do Proofs, and the author's name is Solo. So Daniel Solo.
Daniel Solo.
Solo.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
That's the one. How to Read and Do Proofs. So this is typically a pretty inexpensive book to buy, an old version of. And this is how, like when I teach my proofs course at the college, I exclusively use this book to teach it.
Okay. I like this. It has
Can you show a table of contents?
yeah.
Are you able to show a table of content?
Yeah. Let me see if there's a table. Where? How can I see?
Because this semester I was helping another faculty who is also my friend to teach like under their supervision to teach like language and logic, first order language and logic, or mathematics, those kind of things. So it's more formal
Here you
than
go.
this. And
This
I
is
want
it.
to know.
So wait, I just had it, dude. Where did it go? Okay, here we go. Here's the table of contents. So
Solo teaches it at a level that I think is appropriate for a beginner, and teaches it in a way from just enough of a logical standpoint that I hope it makes sense for the introductory reader, and it doesn't confound what the actual logic says, because I find very formal logic is a really hard language to learn for students.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So this is a little bit more, it's a bit more introductory and a little easier to wade through for my second year students in this course.
Yeah, I recently taught a logic. Well, so I tutor a bunch of classes, and one of my students who I taught a lot of calculus and physics to was telling me, oh, hey, I'm taking a logic class. Can you help me in logic? And I never taken a formal logic class before, but of course, I always say, yeah, sure, I can learn it quicker than you can, and then I can spit it back to you and whatnot. But it's a super, I like logic. It's super cool. Like the formalism, what they call it, sentential logic and predicate logic. It was super fun. It's like big puzzles, I feel like.
So I like the only thing I want to add into this book is like in chapter 1, I want to talk about syntax versus semantics, or Alfred Tarski's like dissection or analysis of what truth actually is.
What is the truth?
This is something that will benefit the students. For example, if in the future they ever encounter anything related to the foundation of mathematics, it's basically you want to distinguish what is a formal theory and what is the semantic model for that theory.
Sure.
It's not quite the same.
How do we do that? How do we do that, Hypatia, in a way that doesn't scare off the kids with big words? Because I know the second they start, they start hearing those words, man, they're gonna be like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here." What?
Like my supervisor when teaching, like the supervisor is a student of church and like Alonso Church, and I think he did a really good job today. I will never probably be able to have that communication skill. Is that he explained Tarski's semantics of like possible worlds using the liar's paradox, drawing like paths and 4 different worlds. Like there are 2 liars, one you're going to the good village, one you're going to the bad village, and you explain what is consistency, completeness, or what is truth in every possible world as a model of a formal theory, and all of those. I think it's it's philosophy department instead of mathematics, so like we have a more laid back style, but I think it was conveyed even more clearer and more concise than one, like more rigorously than when mathematicians teach introduction to logic and proofs.
I see. Okay. That reminds me of the classic logic thing they teach, or I guess it's an ethics thing, right? Is the passenger with the cart, and it's like, do we kill 1 person or we kill 9 people, right?
Not that one.
Yeah,
not that one.
Not that one. Oh, man.
No ethics here. No ethics here. Just
no, wait. So wait. Is Enigma E to the pi I? Those are the same people? No.
No, Enigma is a different individual. E to the 2i pi
is Zach. I know that. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, I read this wrong.
I'm not sure I actually know Enigma's truthful
Enigma name reveal, dude. Name reveal for us.
Yeah, name reveal.
Let's get dogs.
Name reveal.
Enigma says they would kill 9 person. His name is Noah. Oh, okay, cool.
Is it Ricardo? Oh, Noah. Okay.
Noah.
Cool.
Noah's a cool name.
Noah.
That's dope.
Noah, nice.
Jamarcus says, random question for both of you. Do you ever randomly feel like you're high and you can't fully control what you're doing? Okay, that's an interesting one.
I mean, is Jamarcus asking about when we're high or when we're not high?
Like what? Like I feel like I can't control what I'm doing all the time. Like I'm a person in this like meat robot thing, just trying to like barrel through space. Like yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I mean, obviously your viewers now know that I am allowed by law to grow 4 marijuana plants.
There you go. Yeah.
Every year in my garden. So of course there are times in my life when I feel like I'm really high and can't control what I'm doing. Yes.
I mean, there are risks. Like you just buy from regulated dispensaries.
It's cooler if you grow it yourself. Grow it yourself. That's cool.
You can intoxicate yourself, and especially
that is true.
Like.
Yeah. I had a story with that. With my buddy once tried to like grow mushrooms on his own, but I don't think he dried them out correctly, and I think they got moldy and poisonous, and so he took them, and my hands started like swelling, and I was like, I think we're actually just poisoning ourselves at this point. Like I don't think this is the correct thing to do.
You're like pencenter. You live in Canada. Just buy it the legal way.
Yeah, it's the best stuff in Canada.
No,
especially BC, dude.
Come on.
BC weed don't mess around, dude. BC weed is. I remember before it was legal in the U.S. Everyone would talk about BC.
You join late. You know that I you may not know that I prefer growing everything homegrown.
Homegrown. He's a homegrown.
I guess our parents are doctors because like we believe in the scientific methods. You should be on our side. We believe psychopharmacology as a science.
Oh my god!
I'm not growing those kind of mushrooms. I will leave that to the science.
Leave that to the science.
I'll grow my fucking oyster mushrooms and.
I love all mushrooms. Honestly, I'll eat all of them. I'll probably eat some tonight, anyways.
But I mean, I've baked with my marijuana plants, and it's fantastic. Like it's exactly like the perfect.
Wait, have you done like the
I need to sleep? Yeah.
Do you know the strain of what you grow? I'm just curious.
Oh, a Northern Lights, I want to say.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's a good one. I've heard that one. Yeah.
I think it's not a THC strain. It's more of a CBD. So it's more of like a chill out, go to sleep kind of strain, which is what we need because we're always so stressed out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Life is stressful.
Yeah. Do you mind if we circle back? I think Maria had a follow-up question.
Please do. Yeah, what was it?
Maria was saying, do you teach this? So this was back to the book that we had recommended for proofs. And
yes. Are these lessons recorded? Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
The lessons. So when I taught the proofs course, it was face to face. I did not record any lessons.
Ah.
However, I do want to do a shout out to all of your students.
Yeah, do it, please.
If there are specific students that want to work with me and study a specific aspect of mathematics, they're more than welcome to do that. So currently,
there's
undecided. So I've undecided. I think Eber that's going to learn some logic, and potentially I haven't heard from Beef in a little while, but Beef was trying to learn some calculus with me as well.
Oh, very cool.
So if you have a specific area of math that you want to learn, just like come join the Discord and we can learn math together.
That's great. Yeah. So I liked what Zach was doing with like creating this whole course. This what is it? It's real analysis, right? That's what it is. Yeah.
Is what he's running. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's. Oh, Enigma says, are you still considering your complex analysis course on Twitch? Would this be similar to Zach's thing?
Yeah, so I think it's either going to be linear algebra, like an introductory to linear algebra, like vector spaces, or it's going to be complex analysis. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to run something during the summer, very similar to Zach's course. And then next year, like starting in September, if people want to get credit for learning a specific area of mathematics, I actually want to team up with my college so that people can become kind of temporary students at my college, earn credit by like learning mathematics that they can transfer back to their own institution.
That would be, so almost like auditing a class or whatnot, but then getting some sort of
yes,
credit
exactly.
That's very cool.
So we have the ability, we can offer these kinds of courses at the college. And so I want to be able to bring in students that want to learn stuff and just like build a curriculum for them to learn stuff.
And at the end of the day, you still give them credit. Yeah. Is there like there must be like some administrative fee or something? They got to pay something, right?
There will be so they would have to enroll, pay some kind of fee to take that course.
Yeah, to enroll. Yeah.
But if they're at an institution already, then they should be able to transfer that with an agreement to their current institution.
Oh, that's super sick. Oh wow. Yeah, I'd love to promote that or something, man. That'd be great. Complex analysis was super cool when I took it. I feel like I only got half of it, but I would join those classes.
Wait.
Oh, really?
Like, when you decide if you want to do complex analysis or linear algebra, do you want somebody to help out so I can?
Yeah, Hypatia loves to help.
Lecture some as well. I can prepare some documents or stuffs like that.
So I definitely do want to get some. I definitely do want to get some kind of guest appearances from some other individuals. So if there's certain aspects of complex analysis that either of you feel comfortable talking about, then feel free to DM me about what you might be comfortable talking about.
Hypatia, you TA'd for a calculus class, right? Last semester, you TA'd for a university class in calculus. Yeah, so Hypatia's got some decent experience with that. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, DM Pencenter about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you got do you know Mary, Dr. Gold? Have you heard about Merriweather? In passing?
Yes, I've seen the name in passing. Yes, I've seen him on some of the streams.
So Merriweather's an electrical engineer, and they often use complex analysis to do a lot of electrical
circuit analysis.
So
a lot of circuit analysis.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping to bring him in as a guest kind of star for the complex course if it runs. Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's see. We've got a couple more questions. Nick, is your question what's going on? What in the world is going on? That's my question. What in the world? What type of question is that? What LMFAO? Yeah, dog. What do you mean? What in the world is going on? Can you be a little bit more specific, Nick? Nick, I don't know. Okay, well, you got to give us something more to work with. Yeah, you can. What in the world is going on with blank? Just pick a topic. There's a lot going on in the world right now. Whatever I want. I don't know. This is an AMA. You're supposed to ask. I have to teach the kids. You got to know how to ask questions. What's something in the world, Nick, that interests you that you want me to maybe ask Pencenter about?
Don't you worry about Planning Express. Let me worry about blank.
Habib says, "Gold? Are you gold?" I don't know. I think I'm pretty gold right now. Okay, wait. Jamarcus also has a question. What was Jamarcus? What was yours? More questions because I'm bored. How do I start a miniature and undetectable money laundering or pyramid scheme to raise money for completely legal substances? What? Bro, can you understand that Jamarcus is in 8th grade? I call him Senor Savage in our Discord because I don't understand how he has such an advanced level of humor, dude. It's so good.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, do pyramid schemes. Did you see this recent thing? We were talking about religion and stuff. Did you see this thing where was it this crypto scam that was run by a pastor? One, two.
Yeah, I mean,
not- it's
Bitcoin
not-
itself is a pyramid scheme.
Yes, there we go. Colorado
it's not-
pastor was accused of
not-
pocketing this much million in crypto scheme. And he says the Lord told us to.
Of course he says that. Okay,
The
yeah,
Lord told,
yeah.
and that dude, if you watch the video interview, it's hilarious. He says out of the 1.3 million, $500,000 went to the IRS, and a few $100,000 went to a home remodel. The Lord told us to do.
Oh my god.
Damn it, resistance. God damn it. Marijuana says, are you both physicists? Oh no, there's a definition of physics, I guess. Wait, do you have a PhD, Pencenter? I forget. No, you have the double masters,
Oh
right?
my gosh. Can I have a moment where I didn't realize that username was Mary Hoana?
Yeah, marijuana.
I was like, oh, you just put two and two
Marijuana.
together for me. Oh my
Yes.
god. Oh my god. Okay. No, I get. Yeah, I do get the joke now.
Yeah.
Back on the wall, you'll see a couple of different things. I have 2 masters. So I have a master's in mathematics
Nice.
and a master's in mathematics for teaching.
Cool.
And then the other thing on the wall is my it's called WSET. So the other thing on the wall, which is actually this one, this one right here.
Yeah.
Is my kind of like my master's in wine.
Wine. Oh, you're like a
In
sommelier.
wine studies, yeah. I'm like halfway to being a sommelier. That's what that is.
There are a lot of expensive tests. I have friends trying to become sommeliers, and like it's not easy. I was like, what? I was like, I drink a lot of wine.
It's pretty hard, yeah.
Yeah.
The courses are hard, yeah.
Oh my god.
They were fun though. They were a lot. You get to drink a lot of wine. You have to spit it out, unfortunately, but you get to drink a lot of wine.
Oh no. Yeah, I know. You gotta. Yeah. I'm not familiar with the American education system, so you are a physicist that teaches. Oh, I guess they're asking me. Yeah. So I have my degrees in physics. This is where it becomes interesting to claim like what is a physicist, I guess, per se, right? To me, a physicist is anyone who like contributes to the field of physics, which I did do in grad school. I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to write a PhD discovering something new. And then I say contribute to, you're like a pimple in the giant sphere of the knowledge of physics. And all these pimples eventually expand the sphere out. So I would consider myself a physicist in that regard, but currently I don't do physics research, no. I do teach, which I tutor a lot of kids privately, and then I teach all the ones here publicly for free. Which Marcus says, okay, but serious question.
What an analogy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the pimple. No, it is. You're a zit. You're a zit on the collective big bubble of knowledge. That's all you are.
I'm studying to be a pimple.
Yes, I'm studying to be a pimple. It's so true though, because so here's the problem. When I first came into grad school, I was like, I'm gonna solve fusion. I think someone asked earlier, like, what was the moment you realized you wanted to do math or wanted to do physics? For me, it was when I did a research internship at Los Alamos, the same place Oppenheimer did his whole atomic bomb thing. And I realized that plasma physics, specifically fusion, had to be solved. And I needed to save the world with fusion. The world needs fusion. And I had these grandiose plans of that's what I need to do. And then as you get through grad school, you start realizing, like, shit isn't going to happen, unfortunately. Like, it's a lot harder than you think it is. And it's not just one person who's going to make the breakthrough and change the field. It's a bunch of pimples of different people. And then eventually there's one big pimple master, such as Einstein or something, who puts everybody's theories together and is like, yo, here's the big zit.
That's dope.
That's what science is.
I appreciate you calling it the pimple master. That's great.
He is, dude. People look at Einstein and they're like, Einstein was the smartest guy ever, like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, and he was decently smart, but I think he was very good at putting together a lot of other people's theories and connecting them. He's the puppet master. It's the same as, you know, Sensation Black. Sensation, you are the puppet master of me and Pencenter and everyone, right? He's putting everyone together.
Don't worry, Sensation. I will never call you the pimple master.
The pimple master. There was a. Did you ever watch what was it? XKCD, the comic. Do you remember the comic?
Yes.
Yeah. It was so they have like they had these great graphics and one. This is a lot of what I thought grad school was. Where was it? This was So you start out before grad school, you're like, I'm going to research whatever I want. Then you're a grad student, and you're like, I'll research whatever my professor wants. And then you become assistant professor. This is where I stopped. Once I realized the pyramid scheme that is grad school, I said, no, I'm not doing any postdocs. I'm not trying to do a professorship, because I realized that you don't actually ever really get to do what you want to do. You're always beholden to some committee or some grant group or something. Like, you're not really ever going to study what you want.
Yeah, because you like the way the education system is structured is that most of these professors require some kind of funding grant, and that funding grant only gets sent to you if you research the thing that they want you to research.
Exactly. You have to tailor it.
And
is what you have to do.
It's not even the thing that they want you to research. You have to research it in the way that they want you to research it too.
And you have to hire. Yeah, this was the other great one. What was it? This is it. This is what I'm thinking about. No, not this one. Here it is. Life ambition. So this was me early in grad school, which is like, I want to win the Nobel Prize. That's your first year in grad school. Second year, you're like, okay, maybe I'll just revolutionize the field. And then it's like, I'll get a job at a university. And then it's like, oh, I'll just get a job. And it's attend a conference in fucking Minnesota. I hope they have pepperoni pizza. This is real. Like, this happens in grad school.
Wait. Is Podunk an actual place?
No, I hope not. Wait, Podunk.
Like, I've been to Minnesota and I don't remember Podunk being a place. In
Where? No, like, I don't know. Is it actually? It's actually really a place. No, they're trying to say a place that seems like Podunk. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, oh man. Let
me see. And then it says, can't wait for the box match between the guy who drove a tank while firing Uzis, and Kenneth Copeland. Dude, what? What is going on here? Feynman was
is that Oppenheimer too?
Yeah, maybe it's Oppenheimer too. Yeah, Feynman was a G, dude. I liked Feynman. He, I don't think he would have survived in today's socio whatever climate of things, because he used to go to strip clubs. He was kind of a misogynist, but brilliant guy. Yeah. He was cool. What is grad school? Yeah, grad school's after undergrad. Taco. Yeah. Okay. Let me see.
Is that Jamarcus with an actual real? Is that Jamarcus with a real question? Oh my god.
Oh, you actually did ask a real one, Jamarcus. Sorry, I got confused about your pyramid scheme question of things. Let's see. Okay. But actual serious question for either of you. Having done a PhD, what is it like, and is it worth it? Penfound, you can talk about it doesn't have to be a PhD, just talk about like grad school and stuff. Is it worth it?
But you're the only one with a PhD.
But master's is on the way. It's the same. Well, okay, I guess. All right. Having done a PhD, what is it like? It's hell. It absolutely sucks. I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat it. It sucks.
Cheers
to that. Cheers to like it sucks. But that being said, was it worth it? Yes, 100%. It was absolutely worth it. Grad school isn't worth it for most people. Yeah, it depends what you're getting your PhD in. If you're getting it in underwater basket weaving, yeah, no. Like, no. What are we drinking? I just finished off, what was it? Arbalor is what it is? Yeah, Arbalor 12 is what this is. Yeah, I like this one. It's a good scotch. And he's got the Woodford Reserve.
And I've got a couple more sips of Woodford Reserve.
A couple more drams. Yeah, I'm a big fan of scotch and bourbon. But yeah, okay, so grad school, yeah, it's for me getting the PhD was it wasn't necessarily what I learned in my PhD in terms of plasma physics and do I know the Vlasov equation and can I whatever. Yeah, cool. The main thing is the life skills it teaches you. It teaches you how to really be independent, to like investigate your own problem and then have the self-discipline to figure it out yourself, because nobody's really telling you what to do in a PhD. You have to figure it out. It's a great training for how like the world works, because yeah, when you get to be an adult eventually, your parents aren't going to tell you to like clean up your room. They're not going to tell you to do the dishes. You got to do that stuff yourself. And I think grad school is the ultimate self-discipline training course. Yeah,
and I can give it like a really good example of this, where like over the last couple, like before I became the department chair at the college, the previous chair was like, yo, Brian, I need you to teach this course, and I need you to teach this course in this new program that we've created, which is the data analytics program.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, I will do that for you, but I literally have no idea what's happening right now. And I literally had to take it upon myself to I had to study a new language, like a new coding language, right? And like do statistics that I've never done before. So it does happen where you're put into those situations where you have to do that. And I think Masters absolutely trains you to be able to do that on your own.
Yeah. Some Ranger says, I enjoyed grad school. I enjoyed grad school. Well, yeah, so it's kind of a love-hate relationship, right? Because did it suck? Yes. But the experiences are forever. I would never replace, people always say, like, would you do it again? Well, like, would you change anything? No, I would have done it regardless, because you meet a lot of cool people, and it's a very, I don't know when you did your master's, but I did my PhD from 21 to 31. Yeah, when I was 21 to 31. And that's a very cool part of your life where you're figuring things out. And the freedom grad school gives you, because no one tells you have to come into work. No one says clock in. It's a double-edged sword, because you have to get things done, but no one tells you how to do it. So I got to travel a lot, which, again, I think you were talking earlier before this, I guess, how important travel is. And I figured that out. The travel is dope, and the only way I could do that is because in grad school, my advisor didn't necessarily get mad that I was gone in Thailand for a month. It was just like, okay, but are you at least writing this paper? And I'm like, yeah, mostly. That's okay. So the freedom was great.
A couple things, like Jamarcus, yes, I do have pure unrefined maple syrup in my fridge, but I'm not drinking that at the moment.
Great AAA.
Wait, Pencenter, I have something to show you. You talking about coding that stuff. You know this already, but I send you the link to that again. If show Pencenter that, I mean, you two might be interested in something like this.
Oh, okay, we'll check out the Haskell code stuff. Nice. It Anders is asking something about the Canadian edge? So go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say, when I was in my master's, it's like, you literally, like, when you start thinking about a problem that your professor wants you to think about, or your supervisor, like, that overcomes your life. Like, my whole second year of my master's was like basically thinking about some kind of problem. And so I was a dealer at that time. Everybody.
Wait, what type of dealer? Like a weed dealer? Oh, a dealer. Bro, you said that so calmly, like I was a dealer. If you say that in the U.S., like I was a dealer, nobody goes to like you worked at a casino.
So I was a casino dealer during the time of my master's, and I would be dealing blackjack or like roulette to people, and like be thinking about my master's problem.
Oh wow!
And, like, I had breakthroughs while I was sitting there at a table dealing blackjack to people, being like, "Holy shit! I need to get home and write this down because I think I just proved something."
Oh my god! It's like, bro, can you please double down? Oh my god!
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, let's get Amog in here. I feel like I haven't talked to Amog in a while.
Yeah, Amog, where are you at, dude? Here, let's invite you to speak. Yeah, you can come up. Come on up, Amog. What's up? Amog's a G, dude. I love Amog. He's funny. And then what was?
I really want to know if Amog has figured out the volume of his shoe.
Oh yeah.
You haven't figured out the volume of your shoe yet, Amog?
Not yet. We're currently going under the process of it.
Okay, good. All right, dude. Amog, you're not in Canada, are you? You're up in like Washington, right? You're like close.
Yeah. 1781, 267th Court, Southeast.
Oh, dude, don't dox yourself on my stream, dog.
Don't worry, it's my neighbor.
I don't even know what that means, man.
Man. Amog, do you have a question for the AMA? Do you want to ask Pencenter something? Like, anything. But as long as it's not like super Amogy, don't get too edgelord on us.
Whatever. He can get kind of edgelord. I don't know.
What you do and like what you master in? What you pursue?
What is his master's in? Oh, okay. That's a good question. Pencenter, what is your master? It's in math. Is there a specific type of math that you got your master's in?
So the actual degree, I'll just say like master's in mathematics. I studied complex analysis and linear algebra. So when I'm trying to explain what I did to people, I always explain it this way. Like, imagine the Earth, and so there's the equator that runs around the Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we were studying was what happens if we decide to break the Earth along the equator into two spheres, right? Two hemispheres. But instead of putting it back together in the usual way, what we're going to do is we're going to take each point on the equator and sew it to some other point on the equator. And we're going to stitch together every single point on the equator so that this thing gets like all mangled up and becomes like a sphere again, but it's all stitched together in a super weird way. So we studied how to model that using equations, and I proved that it's possible to do this in particular situations.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
As a ribbon sphere, or like having a complex structure? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So this was modeled as I believe analytic powers of analytic functions, I believe, and each power represented a new row in the matrix we were working with. And so my goal was to actually prove that the process was invertible, so that if we stitched together stuff, we could kind of undo the stitching to get back to the original thing. So yeah, I was working with a
Complex manifold, right?
Yeah, it was a complex manifold. Yeah, exactly, Hypatia. Yeah.
A one-dimensional complex manifold which has two like real dimension too, and you want to.
Dude, these things look pretty. These complex manifolds. Dude, what? Excuse me. Is this the whole teacup thing?
So it was
like
it was called the stitching problem, I believe, in physics. Yeah.
Stitching problem.
Yeah.
Were you trying to use Mittag-Levels theorem about the existence of certain meromorphic functions?
I don't know if we used existence of meromorphic functions. That doesn't seem to ring a bell.
Oh.
I mean, Gold. You can people know my
up?
name. You can just search me. Just be like Bryan Penfound complex or
master's thesis or something.
Yeah, something like that. I'm sure you can find it. Like it's there. It's there somewhere.
Is it University of Manitoba?
There it is. So go to Eric Shippers.
Is it?
He was my supervisor.
Oh, very cool. And then he lists all the students you had, right?
So he'll probably list like the papers or whatever. I don't know how he may not list.
Is it not published? It should be published. Yeah, here we go. This is it.
It should be published. Yeah, as long as you get
we
the
found
name of it, there it is.
you.
Algebraic sewing equation.
Here, I'll post it in the link. Yeah,
there
this is very cool.
There. If you feel free to post that anywhere you want. You could feel like everyone can. If you scroll down, there's some really nice visuals that I made specifically for my thesis.
Let's scroll. Let's go see some stuff. Ooh, you got the links in this too. Nice, dude. This is nice.
Yeah.
You can put videos now in LaTeX. I think I embedded some videos in one of my theses.
These equations, like those equations up there that you just passed by, like those are like that was the heart of like what we did.
This stuff right here.
Yeah, like these boys up here. Yeah.
Oh
exactly.
Wow.
You made this by yourself?
Yeah, this is called a thesis emote.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is it divided powers? What is it called? Divided dividend. I remember this thing.
How many pages is this thing?
Yeah.
This is longer than my deck.
So you're right. It's powers of like particular analytic functions. Yeah, and we're trying to prove that if we arrange these powers of analytic functions in particular ways, then it's in a matrix. It's an infinite matrix, but it's possible to find the inverse of such a matrix.
Okay.
I would actually propose something even more interesting. You can study the moduli of all these stitchings.
The moduli.
Like,
Did you just tell me that what I studied was not interesting? Did you just do
Shots fired
live on this
it's very interesting. I was saying this as I would consider that a really good PhD or other kinds of topic that might be of further interest, and it can get you a long way if you want to return to academia or anything like that. I was also talking like just about the mathematical beauty because Gold might know moduli of principal connections.
Dude, I have no. What are you talking about? Moduli of connections, dude? What?
Okay, never mind. Like moduli is important. Yeah.
But I agree. There would be lots of different avenues that Eric and I could have followed had I stayed with him to do my PhD. I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Is there a reason why you didn't stay for your PhD? Is there a reason why you chilled out with the masters?
Yeah, yeah, and I think this kind of comes back to like what a lot of your students are asking too, right?
Sure.
Like for me, the first masters was to get my toes wet with like what does research look like, and do
Okay.
I like actually doing research at an institution?
Right.
And the short answer was no. I mean,
You're
I
like, nah.
I love my supervisor. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I loved my supervisor. Eric was
Yeah.
fantastic, and
Uh-huh.
we worked really well together. But it just wasn't what I wanted to do, and I'm super grateful that I figured that out in my 2 years master's program.
Yeah.
When I took my second master's program, it was very different. It was like, can you
This is the
take
teaching one?
ideas that you know? This is the teaching one. So
Yeah.
can you take the ideas you know and apply them appropriately and pedagogically to the classroom? So that one to me was a lot more like beneficial, like for my kind of well-roundedness.
Mm-hmm.
So it made sure that I not only understood the content, but was able to deliver it in a way that made sense, and not just a singular way, like to be able to explain it in a couple of different ways, so that if I have different students, I can explain it to in a way that makes sense to them.
No, I like it. And that's honestly one of the hardest things to do is again, you can come up with all these great grandiose theories and conjectures and whatever math knowledge, but if you don't know how to distill it down to people, then what's the point? You know, it's just so that's cool that you went to school to basically like make sure that you understand how to do that. And this is something we're getting you better at Hypatia. Hypatia, we're getting you better at this.
I also did that with my students. For example, I know some of my students want to become medical doctors, so I talk to them about pharmacokinematics and why calculus is, well, it's used in pharmacokinematics, because my parents are doctors. I have some backgrounds in it. I also talked about the electrical engineering, physics, and link the calculus we are studying all to all of them.
That's very cool.
And I think that's exactly like what I agree with Pencenter on this. Like,
nice.
Pedagogy is the art.
It is. And honestly, I don't think it's something that will get replaced by AI. I saw this the other day. Someone reached out to me from a company. They're trying to pay people like me to tutor on some platform where the computer watches how I teach, and then they want to develop an AI based on me to be like me as a teacher. But I say that, I'm like,
dope.
well, that is dope. But also it's not, because I'm like, wait a minute, why would I do? And they're like, oh, we'll pay you $50 an hour. I'm like, oh, you're paying me $50 an hour to replace myself. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I do that? But also, I think teaching is so much more than just like an AI, because it's super dependent on who the person is. I feel like I don't know if that's something AI will be able to understand yet. You know, right? I don't know. I have thoughts on this.
But this is part of like, this goes back to that conversation of like, it's really hard for me to explain my viewpoint on the world, but like this is where I see the world going, right? Like the world is going towards this. Like AI is being promoted as a way to replace people.
Yes.
Which is slightly concerning to me.
Yeah. It's like we're building our own
right?
cages.
Because as soon as we lose intrinsic value of what we deliver as a person, then like our whole construction of humanity is gone.
I agree.
And it's a very hard thing to philosophize about, and a really tricky thing to navigate.
It is. I think it should be used as a tool. IBM. You want to quote a what?
Like,
sorry?
I think like there is a IBM memorandum saying computers cannot be held accountable, which is why a computer cannot ever make management decisions.
Oh, okay. It's the same reason why we don't have... So, for instance, computers basically fly planes, right? They do the landing, they do the takeoff, they do mostly everything. But humans would never trust a plane that didn't have a person, at least behind the wheel at some point. Because somebody has to be accountable. Yeah, I like this. This is cool. This is a 1979 presentation.
You don't have to talk about planes. Just talk about cars.
Yeah, cars. That's another one. Self-driving. Yeah. My buddy was talking about this. Apparently, the new Tesla V12 FSD came out or something. V12 FSD update. Yeah, there was this. And he says it's super cool with getting onto highways, off of highways. But something he doesn't like about it is that it comes to a complete stop before every stop sign, which he says drives him crazy. And I agree, because in California we call it... We call it California stoppy. You don't ever stop completely at a stop sign. You kind of roll through it.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal, but
Yeah, so this is where like technically it's illegal, right? But imagine we have cars that require us to always stop at a stop sign like that, always a full stop. It would drive me mad. I'd be like, what? What's the point of this? I don't know.
Do you know what we call that in Canada? We call it stoptional.
Stoptional. I like that, stoptional.
Yeah.
What was it? Speed limit. This was another one talking about like the whole like AI like building cages for ourselves. But there was a recent California always has like some wacky bills they're putting forward. They want there to what is it? Oh, I don't want the ads. Come on, guys. Whatever. They want to have a bill such that cars released in California now have a chip that does not allow you to go more than 10 miles over the speed limit. Like it won't let you. And I'm like, what? No.
What if you have a medical emergency? What
exactly.
if you're chased by
what if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, nobody's on the highway, are you stuck doing 65? Like, what? Again.
No, that's a different, like, there's a, I don't know, like, well, it's American thing, you like randomly breaking the law, but
I believe that, you know, there's a human, like, you know, tolerance to things. And if we start putting AI in control of everything, you remove that.
The hard part about this kind of stuff is a lot of the terminology in the legislature that people are trying to push forward, like overtly, like in my opinion, overtly goes against like your First Amendment of like, or is the First Amendment the freedom?
That's a free speech. It's the freedom, dude. All of them are the freedom.
Which one's the freedom? Give me the one that's the freedom.
Some would say that's the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms. They say the freedom one is the gun.
That's dope.
But
yeah. But like a lot of the terminology, like wouldn't that just go against the fact that like your republic is a free republic? Like it just feels weird, right? Like yeah, you have the freedom to do what you want, but there are also consequences to the things that you do, right?
Right.
Like,
we live in a society.
There's a give and take relationship with freedom. Like I love the fact that we have freedom, and I get that if I try to abuse that freedom, maybe there is some limitations on that. But a chip seems like you don't even have freedom to do what you want, right? Like, like that seems a little
too much.
It's very like parental state. It's an ideology.
It reminds you of home. Does it
to...
remind you of home, Hypatia? Remind you of China?
China is different. China is totalitarianism, which is different than parental state. But like in some way, yes.
Yes.
Like.
Oh my god.
Do you know about the truckers, right, Gold? About the truckers?
Yes. Wait. So okay. Maybe we can go into this a little bit because I know from the American point of view, right? They got mad at being required to take the vaccine, otherwise they couldn't drive. Was that what it was? And so then they parked all their trucks.
Yeah.
They parked all their trucks in the Capitol and what. And I think just now they're getting arrested or something, right? Like 2 years later. Or they're coming after them retroactively?
Like it wasn't even that they parked their trucks. It was like that they literally started at two different like sides of Canada and drove to the middle. So like there was a literal convoy of trucks from either coast that went straight to our capital, which is in the middle. In Ottawa. And you're right. They did, once they got there, they absolutely parked everywhere and clogged up all of the main city streets, which must have been an awful thing for anyone.
I kind of see it as like I see it as like civil disobedience. Again, like, do I believe in vaccines? Yes, great, all that stuff. But I also believe if people want to, you know, protest is okay, as long as it's not causing other people trouble.
Exactly, right. So this was the big question: like, do Canadians actually have the right to protest? Because at the time when this happened, the government decided that it would invoke the Emergencies Act in Canada. Which froze several bank accounts of the people that were involved in that protest. And so there's been an ongoing debate in Canada as about to whether or not that was lawful to do. And just actually a couple days ago, I believe the Supreme Court ruled that it was unlawful for the government to do that, which was a big win.
Oh, I think that's good. Yeah. I mean, there's a difference, I think, between, you know, parking your truck and protesting and what's happening in America, right, with the January 6th riots. And you storming the Senate. Like, that I think you should be punished for. Like, you don't get to start like invading the Capitol and then somehow like go scotch-free. That's not protesting. That's insurrection.
And another thing is that vaccination cannot be mandated. That's a bioethics issue. You cannot mandate medical treatment. Medical decisions has to be made by the individual receiving that treatment.
I guess the argument
and I
is
actually teach
go on. You go.
I was going to say I actually teach this in my health analytics class. Like, this really just comes down to what happened at Nuremberg, right?
Oh yeah.
The Nuremberg Code basically says, you know, if this is a thing that we want to do, like if we want to like involve human subjects, then you need to have absolute willingness from the human subjects to do this thing. So yeah, it's a consequence of World War II. Yeah.
Yeah, challenge experiments. That's also
I didn't know about this.
A more controversial topic.
Is this because of all this stuff that happened in Japan with that one place where they were just doing human experiments like crazy on people? You know what I'm talking about?
Unit 731. Yes, I know about.
Yeah, this one's fucking messed up. And do you know the whole story of how we gave forgiveness to all these scientists in exchange for their research? We said, "Yo, can we get the data and like we'll let you all go?" And I was just like, "What?" Yep. Because it is very unique experiments that would never happen.
Yeah, I teach that in my health ethics class. Absolutely, in my algorithms class for sure. It's a really good. It's a really scary part. It's a scary part of. It's a really scary part to me of human history. Yeah. What can go wrong with
when science goes too far.
Yeah.
I think ethics, educational ethics and history, and maybe just tell your student to take the Hippocratic Oath. This is very important in if they want to, so that they don't abuse the knowledge they acquired. This makes you a really good educator.
I need more scotch for this argument.
Okay. My students are not becoming doctors, right? That are serving, they're not becoming nurses or doctors that are serving at a hospital. My students are becoming data analysts that are working with the data coming from the hospital. So they don't necessarily need to take a Hippocratic Oath, but they do need to have some kind of code of ethics, I believe. So I do challenge them to try to create their own code of ethics that makes sense for them.
Yeah. No, I never took an ethics class in college. I think it should be mandatory, honestly. I think people should be required to, as one of, the GE credit things. I know I had to take a GE credit for, history or some bullshit, whatever. There should be, you have to take logic and ethics as a mandatory GE. I think it would probably do the world.
Yeah, seriously, right? I think I'd be down with that, for sure.
Mother Marxism says, I have a question for Pencenter and the doctor. What is your most controversial opinion in today's society, and what is your reasoning behind it? Oh, he's trying to get us canceled.
He's really trying to get. Oh no!
Oh man!
Nigga's been trying to get us canceled since day one.
Do you know Marxism? Do you know Mother Marxism? They're new to my server. It's kind of cool.
Marxism is Enigma.
Oh, that is Enigma. Okay, great. Thanks, Enigma. Cool,
yeah. Cool. So Marxism is just Marxism on Discord, but Enigma on Twitch.
Okay, cool. Got it. All right. You can go first on this one. I got to think about it. I'm a very controversial person.
Oh God. Yeah, you're not a controversial person.
I am. No, I am. I'm a very controversial person. Mainly because I believe the truth is always somewhere in between. I will read Fox News and CNN because I want to see both sides. I want to see what are y'all talking about? What is each side yelling about? And I always think the truth is somewhere in between. It's like when Alex Jones starts yelling about they're making the frogs gay. I'm like, okay, this is kind of crazy. But then I go into it, I'm like, oh, but there is some weird shit happening to the frogs. So he's not completely off his rocker.
Yeah, okay. Where's my Alex Jones meme? Oh
I got ranking the freaking frogs gay.
Send it. There it is. Here we go. There it is. This for you guys. There you go. A little tinfoil hat.
The tinfoil hat, dude. He's from Texas. He's a Texas guy.
I think I'm not that surprised, Gold, that he's from Texas.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
but that's not. I mean, that's not.
No. Texas is very Texas. Texas is. I know. No, it's okay.
I think Texas is great.
No, it is. But we're very independent. That type of independent thought. Texas gets this weird blend of very intellectual, whatever, smart, but then we get fiercely independent about things, and that's why things like this tend to exist. Oh man, LA has all kinds of people. I agree
gotcha.
too.
Yeah.
Fantastic land.
Texas is fantastic, and so is its Canadian counterpart, which is Alberta, which is
Oh,
where
really?
Mother
Is Alberta
Marxism
like
is
it? Yeah. Did Alberta declare
from.
independence from Canada at one point?
I mean, they're trying. Like, I feel like they're on their way to doing it. Like, I'm waiting to hear if they're going to become independent, and then I'll just move there.
I have a question for Marxism, actually. Here, Marxism, because I have too many things that I'm controversial on. I don't know which one's the most controversial. Like, I have my whole, rants on COVID. I have rants on, I don't know, feminism, everything. I can go down the fucking rabbit hole here. Marxism, how about you pick one? Pick one.
So, Big Daddy has picked the one that I am the most
cool.
LGBTQ. The one that I distrust the most.
Okay.
Is that one, because I feel like I can speak to this because I'm a member of that particular group.
Sure.
And I feel like that particular group does not represent me accurately
whatsoever. Ooh, I like this. Okay, that's cool.
I hate their flag. I hate what has become of this movement.
Yes.
It actually feels to me like a war movement. Like they are trying to take their flag and put it everywhere they can.
Yes.
Right? They're trying to it's like they're trying to stick a flag in the fucking moon or something, right? And claim it as their own.
This
and I think to me that was not the intention. Right?
Okay.
Like that's not the intention. The original intention to me is I just want to be chill whenever we go out and have a fucking drink together.
Equal rights. I want to be able to marry people. That's cool, but I don't need to force in everyone's face.
Right, I don't even care. To be honest, I don't even care about marriage.
Sure.
That is I am married. I'll admit I'm married because Canada gave us the right to do that.
There's a tax benefit.
If they didn't, whatever. But whatever. That's not the point. I didn't get married to fucking get a tax benefit.
Dude, I know some people in LA here, dude. I know some people in LA that get married for taxes, dude. They do. They say you want to be my domestic partner, we can save. Or healthcare, bro. This is how fucked it is in the U.S., dude.
Yeah.
I've had discussions where people let's be domestic partners so I can get you on my healthcare plan. Yeah, no, it's a thing. But
but that's fucking wild, isn't it? That should never be a carrot or stick in this.
It shouldn't be.
That's not the point of marriage. The point of marriage is hey, I have found someone who I realistically want to spend my life with.
Yeah, rest of life.
Cool.
And this is a commitment.
We can get married, or we could. Yeah, or we can make the commitment and broadcast that commitment to our friends as a wedding.
Yeah.
Or we can just be together. I don't care. If you want to fucking marry a snake, who cares? I don't fucking care.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
Do it.
Yeah, go for
fucking do it.
That's dope.
Go marry Chewbacca.
Yeah, marry whoever you want. I don't care. There
are also people marrying for immigration, right?
Yes, but that gets caught. That's what 90 Day Fiance and all that stuff is. That gets caught. Yeah, they catch that.
Can I marry Dr. Gold?
Not legally. Yeah.
What kind of tax benefits do you get, Gold?
What do you bring to the table? You gonna fund its Discord, dude?
What's the prenup gonna look
How many tier 3 subs are you buying? Oh my god, that's cool. Honestly, I feel like that's a great take, Pencenter. I like that. I like that. Yeah, you feel like it's been almost hijacked for the sake of wokeness, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Marxism says exactly how I feel. I really my tongue is tied at the university. Otherwise, I'm gonna get reprimanded. And I think once we hit that point of where we don't actually have free speech at a educational institution, then that's a problem to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's the whole I hate when it gets when we can't have discussions anymore about things because people will resort to name calling. It instantly becomes, oh, you're a racist, oh, you're a homophobe, or you're this phobe, or whatever, and it's just no, I just don't agree with all the things. It's not an all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's not a delta function, what?
Yeah, and to be fair, I just usually don't even talk about my sexual preferences whatsoever because I don't even think it's an important point of conversation when I'm talking about mathematics.
Yeah,
and I
it's
think
not related.
From what I've heard from students, teachers feel like it's an important thing to talk about at fucking elementary school, and I'm no, you're in elementary school.
No, yeah, you're a young kid.
The point is the content, right? It's not talking about anyway, that's
It's the
like,
context, is what it
yeah,
is.
sorry.
So this happened in Florida. There was this whole bill called "Don't Say Gay," and
oh yeah, I heard about that.
yeah, they called it. They called it "Don't Say," and it got weaponized by both sides, right? So the Republicans said, you know, "Don't say gay," because they know if they use the word gay, they can get people riled up against it, and Democrats, of course, love it because they love the word gay as well. It just becomes something that they use to fight with each other. It's politicized. Whereas I remember, like, apparently someone suggested that the original name for that bill, which was don't teach sex stuff until people are of the age to learn about it, was Wait Till 8. And I was like, cool. Wait Till 8 sounds like a much better title. First of all, I think 8 years old is way too young, but whatever. Wait Till 8 is a lot better than Don't Say Gay.
I don't know. Maybe it kind of sounds
I
super
want
creepy.
to
Sounds
add
kinda
Yeah,
creepy.
Wait Till 8.
No, wait till 18. Wait till 18.
Wait till 18. No, that's too late. That's too late. Unfortunately, teen pregnancy is a thing. Maybe like wait till 13.
Oh my
Yeah, I don't
God.
know. What's up, Hypatia?
Good. I want to add a perspective from a member of like minority in the gender minority. I'm
Yes,
a
sure.
transgender, non-binary, asexual person.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I want to say, like, it doesn't work like this wait until thing, because people
Yeah.
can be like, especially from my perspective, me, myself, and a lot of people, their gender dysphoria come directly the moment they were born, or the moment.
Oh, you mean from a young
they don't
age? You
remember.
had gender dysmorphia from a young
They
age?
do not remember when was the first time they feel gender dysphoria, and the gender dysphoria
Okay.
makes their life extremely difficult, like socialization or anything like that. So I feel we should use sexual education to create a safe environment for
Okay.
everybody
Okay.
to grow, to know that it's okay to be whatever or whoever you want to be, instead of the society wants me killed.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
otherwise
and again,
they-
we in no way, again, that's a thing in China. They say, like, if you're any sort of non-hetero, you get murdered. I get that. But I think in the U.S., the argument is that if you tell a kid that they could be an airplane, guess what? Some of the kids are going to say, I want to be an airplane. Because they're fucking little kids. They're going to say whatever. So I think that's the argument they have. They're not saying that you can't identify as being transgendered, body dysmorphia, whatever. Those are real things that happen right at birth. But I think their argument is, let's not give kids let's not tell them that's an option yet, unless, you know, they legitimately have it, and then we should have resources for it. But don't tell the regular kids that that's a choice, because they're too young to make that choice, I think is what it is. It's like you're giving options to people that don't need to be given that young.
Well, for some, maybe. For some
For some.
others,
I would say for the
like,
majority.
They need that. They need a choice, because they need to know they are accepted in the society, in the world as well. That's all.
Oh, so
I'm
Mother
saying
Marxism
is-
has a good thing. Mother Marxism, as if you're comfortable, I'm wondering what your gender dysphoria feels like, because I don't experience it personally. And also the same with Pencenter about what feeling gay is, or even if that is a feeling. That's cool. All right. Hypatia, do you want to talk about that? You can talk about it. It's cool.
Sure. I mean, gender dysphoria is like, to me, I was assigned a male at birth, and the only the earliest dysphoria I can remember is that I want to, like, destroy my genitalia.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Because it made you feel gross, like you're like, this is not me. Like it's
No,
as it's I don't have a hand or
I
something.
do not, like, when I was that young. I do not. I read nothing, especially in China. You don't get exposed to anything about gender and sexuality.
Sure.
So I do not have a way at that moment to describe what I'm feeling at. I just wish I have a big scissor to destroy my
Oh, no.
genitalia.
Oh,
And
no.
that's a real thing.
No, I
It's-
believe
it's
it, but it sounds horrifying. But okay.
Well, to some people, like, I just want to stress how neurodiversity, how
Sure.
how it works. People are different,
Yeah.
and a lot of people feel different things. And you need, as an educator, as a education policymaker, you need to account and accommodate for different everyone's need. Basically,
I
you
agree.
can't just and Yeah, this will be a long conversation, but all the point I wish to make is that whenever it comes to these situations, whenever you are facing especially children who are very underprivileged and very vulnerable, especially their parents might not be like, they might be downright child abusers,
Sure.
like if they, especially in China, for example. We need to be very careful. We need to stop whistling. We stop dog whistling. Stop
Dog whistling. Yeah,
politicizing,
no, I
and
agree. Yeah.
actually think about how we can best like make everybody's life safe and comfortable, instead of we want to weaponize whatever people suffering, like minors, children, adults alike. We don't want to weaponize, politicize their suffering.
Politicize it. Yeah,
Against
no,
each
I get you.
other.
I get you. Yeah, because it gets used as just a dog whistle. I agree. And that's what I said with the don't say gay thing. They called it that because it's a dog whistle. They know if they call the bill that, they'll get both sides riled up. It's dumb. Yeah. Did you want to speak, Pencenter, on that?
Gold, you certainly miss. Like, I mean, you must know this. Like the point of politicizing something is necessarily to divide and conquer something.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes, the best.
Yeah. So, I mean, even in Canada, like, we like to say that we have democracy, but there's really, it's the same as America. We have the Republicans and we have the Democrats. Like, it's
Sure.
the same thing here, right? The liberals and the conservatives. And it's the same thing up here, right? Like, all we do is try to divide each other so that when it comes time to have an election, we just try to get as many votes as possible. So I think I agree with Hypatia in the sense that there is probably a way for all of us to like reasonably navigate through everything, but everything has become so hyper politicized that it's actually really hard for the normal individual to figure out what the is going on.
Yeah.
Because if you say something incorrect, you're just banned. You're just banned, right?
Yeah. You get kicked off Twitter, you get kicked off everything. Yeah, it's the worst. I think cancel culture is the absolute fucking worst thing in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I can't go into formal education. I can't be a teacher.
I'm
the
sorry,
poker chip
Jamarcus,
movement.
I'm just like, when I get the poker chip movements, yeah.
Oh, I can do the thing. I can do it between my fingers. I can do the whatever.
Oh, nice. I can't do that one, but I can sometimes do the like, I always do the flip, and then sometimes I can do the
the shuffle. You can do the shuffle.
I can sometimes do the shuffle if I'm really good. Yeah. The spin and shuffle. But...
Sam says canceled. No, dude. No, Sam, we're not canceled. No, we're not canceled. Did you want to answer Marxism's question, Penncenter? It's okay if you don't want to. It's fine. What was it? He was asking about feeling gay, I guess, is what it was.
Like,
I don't know.
What's it feel like to be? I just feel happy all the time. I'm always happy. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yes. Dude, this is what... Okay, bro, on a side topic, because I do see this happen a lot in my Discord, where, again, when I grew up in the 90s, early thousands, yes, we used to always just call each other gays, like, kind of, as an insult, right? But nothing... I don't feel like we ever had any, like, actual hate towards gay people, but for whatever reason, we used it as our word. I mean... I can't say the F word now anymore, but I remember, bro, playing Call of Duty, we used to yell that at each other all the time. And I don't think it was towards any, like, hate towards, like, a group or whatnot. And I now see kids today also in my Discord, you know, they'll start using it really aggressively as a joke, and I kind of use this as a counter. I'm like, hey, those people that are doing that, you probably actually are gay. Like, that's usually what happens. The people that, for some reason, have a hatred towards it end up being bad. You just hate yourself. I get it.
Stop tickling for a unicorn.
That's
What is
another-
Nightbot doing right now?
I know.
That's another thing about internalized homophobia. It's,
Yes, I think
another
internalized
topic
homophobia
that-
is like they're gay themselves. That's what it is. I always tell them that, and then they shut up, and I'm like, okay, now it's getting to them. Of like, yeah, you seem to have this obsession with homophobia. I think it's because you actually are. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But, I don't know.
This is also why we wanted that wait until 8 thing is ridiculous, because like you can indoctrinate people with internalized homophobia by just avoiding talking about
by
it.
avoiding it. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Like these kind of things, there are insanely profound socio-psychological science behind it. It's not a thing that you can hit on your forehead and start writing up a ridiculous bill about it. Like
I think just in
small
general,
part,
I just think any sexuality really shouldn't be taught until later. I just think anything I don't think the brain, in the same way that I don't think kids should do drugs or drink alcohol or do anything until like they're at least 18 or 21. Your brain isn't developed yet. I don't think you have the mental capacity.
Have you seen that have you seen that super wholesome like video where it's like these are what kids look like before like sexuality has been put on them?
Oh
And
my
it's
God,
like
no.
they get asked the question about no, it's like there's a question they get asked the question like
Yes.
what makes you and your friend different, right? And they're like, well, so and so really likes grilled cheese with tomato sauce, but I really hate tomato sauce, right? Or like it always comes back to like food, and there's like literally like there's one girl in like a wheelchair, right? The other girl's like, oh, so and so like hates blah blah blah, and it's like it's all about food, and I'm like, this is like literally kids, right? Like they literally don't see that stuff until the adults make them see that stuff. So I agree. Like I don't exactly know what the proper answer is to this question.
Yeah.
But there has to be some kind of balancing act between like when we introduce children to this stuff, right?
Yeah. I think it's at the age that they can start making mistakes is what it is. I deal a lot with kids in my Discord who, are hooking up and whatnot, and I tell the kids, because I can't be their parent. If I be their parent and I say like, no, you're banned and whatnot, that doesn't teach them anything, right? You have to kind of be a real person. And I tell them like, if you knock a chick up, you're fucked. So don't do that, please. Like I get it, like but I think that's the age you have to start telling them is that when they can start doing things that screw things up. Like when you start changing.
And
your
like
life.
I mean, if you want me to realistically answer like Enigma's question, like like how does it feel different? Like honestly, like in my day-to-day, everyday occurrences, like being gay is like not different from being a regular human being. Like I'm just a fucking regular human being doing my thing. Like I go to work, I work, I fucking answer emails, I teach classes, I come home, I watch your podcast, right?
Yeah.
Like in every kind of aspect, it's like I honestly like, and maybe it's just my philosophy, like I never go out of my way to like tell anybody any information about my personal life. I just don't think that's like
someone else's business.
It's none of their business.
Right.
And two, even if it was their business, I'm not going to share that information about myself. Like, so I approach everything from a very conservative viewpoint that
because of your upbringing
like,
and whatnot too.
It's like I'm just a regular person, and like if somebody was like, "Oh, like tell me about your wife," sure, maybe I'll be like, "My husband's name is David,"
yes,
right? Like
David, yeah,
right. Like I will correct them in those particular instances, but it's not something I go out of my way to do, and I don't.
Yeah.
I never have any joy in correcting people, right? Like there's no joy in that.
Yeah, the
like,
pronouns,
like,
the pronouns is too much. The pronouns are like, excuse me, my pronouns are this. I'm like, bro, you look like a dude. I'm sorry. Like, what? That's not on me.
Yeah, and it's like, I totally get that 95% of people will be in a heterosexual relationship. Like, cool. If you think I have a wife, awesome. Like that's a good assumption to make.
Statistically, that's a good guess. I mean, you're the dealer.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're rolling with the odds. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
If you're a dude, then you're a dude. Yeah.
Well, no, I gotta correct Nick sometimes because Nick doesn't believe in it. I have to correct Nick that like no, some people have actual dysmorphia. It's a thing, Nick. But yeah, some people take it to the extreme. Yeah, no, I get it. I had this problem where I was teaching a bunch of Gen Z kids at a community college, and I don't know, like for whatever reasons, I was using the regular pronouns of what they look like. I'm like, oh, what does she think? What does he think? And they're like, oh, they're not a she, they're a he. I'm like, okay, but they definitely look like this. And then at some point, I figured out that all of them didn't have what I thought were their normal pronouns. They like if it was a girl, they were a guy. If they were a guy, they were a girl. Like they were all switching. And I was like, oh, and then I tried to talk about names and whatnot, and because one of them very much looks like a guy, and they're like, oh, but my name is Isabel, and I'm like, was that your real name? They're like, no, that's my new name. My dead name is this. And so they had all rejected the names they were born with too. So at some point, I'm like, all you guys are just role playing. What are you guys doing? Like, what? Like, I get it. You want to express yourself.
I have a question for you. Did you press the reset button at that point in time, Gold, or did you just kind of keep on keeping on?
The reset button? What's the reset button?
We're like that would have been a hard reset for me. I've been like, yo, get me out of here.
Oh, I couldn't because I need to pay rent, dude. I have to teach these kids. But yeah, I realized what I had walked into, which I was like, oh fuck. I was like, yep, this is the next generation coming up. And for whatever reason, I don't know, blame social media or stuff, but I don't know, it seems a little distorted from reality. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm the guy that wears gold fucking everything. Like, I do whatever, I dress however I want, I do whatever I want. But I guess I don't like yell at people if they don't call me like certain things. I'm just like, you know, I think you had a great viewpoint on it. Like, do what you want, but don't force it on others.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So there's two ways we can go with this conversation. Like, the first way I think is like, if I approach a situation, I don't think that individual should get offended if I assign to them a pronoun that I think is correct, right? If I think they are a boy or a girl, I will say he or she. Yeah. And they should not be mad at me for automatically assuming that
normal
pronoun, because that's how English works.
Yes.
I assign a pronoun to a person based on what I think their gender to be. If that individual comes back to me and says, hey, like, I would prefer if you referred to me as blah, blah, blah.
Cool.
I'm going to be like, cool. We've had this conversation. It's going to happen. I'm not going to go out of my way to disrespect what their wishes are.
Yes. Yeah.
Provided it's a rational.
Yeah, provided it's not like attack helicopter or something. Like bro, I can't call you that.
Like don't come back to me being like, I identify as attack helicopter and attack helicopter self. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. Right? Like, or like there is a line here.
Yes, like, there's a rationality. There's a reality thing. Yeah. Like, my pronoun is not like Poppy Chulo. You got to call me Poppy all the time. I'm sorry.
Please refer to me as Poppy. Yeah,
Poppy, dude. It's my new one, dude.
Yeah. No, totally. Like there is a reasonable. I think it's hard to describe, but there's a reasonable line to draw here in a lot of these situations, and I think like we get just so like offended that it's just like so.
Because it's popular. It's popular to be offended.
Reasonable line is.
Yeah, there's no more reality because
it's popular to be offended.
Yep.
Well, it's popular to be offended, and it's popular to just have weird pronouns. Yeah.
Which, again, I'm cool with all being different. That's cool, but just don't get offended. Like, it's cool. You can be different. I'm cool with you being different, but it's people start like looking for conflict, I guess, and I'm like, it's the wrong intent, I guess. Please refute me to the world, President.
I mean, we shouldn't.
Jesus, go on. You're good.
The whole point of like us having these kinds of hard conversations, I think, is not to try to talk past each other, right? Like it's really to figure out that we're actually reasonably, like, we reasonably have very similar thoughts and approaches to stuff. And if we could all figure out that we actually have reasonable approaches to stuff, then we could actually coexist as some kind of society that makes sense without being politically ostracized.
That would be the best. Yeah, if we could. But again, like you said, divide and conquer, right? The political parties want you. Dream, right? They want you to hate each other because that's the way they get power. Yeah. Oh, man.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So once you come to that realization and you start to realize that, like, oh, I'm thinking this way because someone's taught me to think this way.
Yeah.
Then just think the exact opposite of that.
Just don't do it.
You're probably okay. Yeah.
Marxism says his pronouns are daddy, dude. Daddy.
Dad and D.
Daddy, double D. Yeah, it's.
I'll call you daddy anyway.
Daddy, dude. Marxism. Oh, this is actually interesting. I have a good question about this. Marxism says this. He says his educational institution has been censoring the Israel-Palestine discords. What's your university? This one kind of blew me on like a whole like 180. I didn't know that the whole conservatives love Israel but liberals love Palestine. I never knew this was a thing until this got blown up. And I don't know. Does your university have like a stance on it or something that they're doing?
Nothing that has been really communicated to me in any way. No.
Okay. All right, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, we're still we're very pro Ukraine. I do know that, but I have no idea if we have any.
I don't know how you
Israel,
you cannot be
Palestine.
like pro Ukraine. Like what? Like another country invaded another country. Like what?
Like,
That one's pretty black and white to me. Would you want to say, Hi, Shem?
I also want to add in just like, so, like a country or the will of the country is very different from the people inside of the country
okay.
as well. For
Yes.
example, I know a lot of very, very brave Russian dissidents who gave their life securing Belgorod, for example, or there are also Israeli dissidents, the fractions of Kadima and like opposition coalition, and the Labour Party who support the two-state solutions, and all of those, like. When we are talking about politics, for example, especially in the dissident community, we say, for example, remove Putin, remove Netanyahu, instead of like, what did they say it?
Free Palestine, or like support Israel. I get it. You guys separate the people from the autocratic leaders that are doing it. That's smart.
Yeah, you say the Good Coalition is bad. You say and enumerate evidences of why they're bad. They corner dissidents, they disappear them, and they do horrible things. That's them. You don't pull up the will of the nation from a geopolitical perspective and start calling out from river to the sea, we are going to...
I know. Again, this is all the buzzwords. It's all the buzzwords. People love the buzzwords. They love the conflict. Yeah. There you go. All right, cool.
Well, at least that's the human rights advocacy's perspective. I mean, if you are actually in the government or you are working in poli-sci, you actually will have disagreement with ours, but... It always comes down to compassion.
Yeah, just being good humans to each other. I agree.
We want to do our best instead of kill the most.
Yes, I agree. All right, I gotta run here in the next 10-15 minutes, so let's wrap this up a little bit. Okay, so I always do a giveaway here for the students for asking questions. It's kind of like a little incentive. What's up?
Did you hit a stream record?
That's dope.
He's probably talking about the length of this stream, because yeah, I think we probably have 2 hours and 40 minutes is a lot. I don't think I've streamed longer than 2 hours and 40. 240.
That's pretty big, man.
I feel like this is the longest stream.
Is this the longest stream we've had? Is this the longest one? Probably.
I feel so.
It doesn't feel like 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's what I always say, Pencenter. If I'm having a good time, dude, it doesn't feel like it's just like it's like blink. It's a great yes. The highest was 2 hours.
Honestly, we should plan to do this again. Like after the semester's over, like we'll hit, like in the spring or like summer or whatever. Like let's do this again.
Oh, 100%.
I had a great time chatting with you guys, and there were some awesome questions in the chat. So I appreciate all of you for coming in and chatting tonight.
Yeah, I love the format. I love the AMA. I love any excuse to drink bourbon with a fellow bourbon drinker. You know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. That's the best. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, no, again, everyone had a lot of great questions. So actually, but what I did say is I'm going to give out a $20 gift card to whoever had the best question. But I let you decide because you're the person with all the questions.
I have to decide?
So you can decide, or you can give me a couple that you liked and I can put them on a spinner wheel. So, yeah, you can pick one person that you thought had the best question. These were the ones that I had written down. I know a lot of people in the chat also submitted questions kind of last minute. But yeah, these are the ones that we had so far. So you can either pick one. You can last week Zev was our guest and he really liked someone who gave a question about crunch time. So he said like that guy, just give that guy the press. I was like, cool. But don't feel pressure.
Okay. Can we do a wheel spin tonight?
We can do a wheel spin. We can do a wheel spin. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay. So we're gonna go between Taco Cat. That was
Taco
a good
Cat
question. Like,
okay.
What one thing changed your life? I thought Marxism had a good question.
Good.
Like the whole idea of like describing like how Hypatia felt and like how I felt. Like I thought that was a really interesting conversation to have. Can you go back to the page again? Because there was another good one on the page that I
Yep.
The hero for a day. You ever said like what your superpower for a day?
That was Addie. Yeah, that was a really fun one. Yeah,
Addie, that was a fun question. So I think between those three, I kind of understand.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Yeah, I like there being some like sort of randomness to it. Okay. Here, I'm gonna
a little mix. Yeah.
Spin it. Let's spin it. Who's gonna win? Womp me. You're good, Jamarcus.
Oh, sorry, Jamarcus.
All right, Marxism. Enigma, you win. Nice. Okay, awesome. Good job, Marxism. Yeah, no, I appreciate you asking these questions, Enigma, Marxism. Yeah. Welcome to the Discord and everything. I'm gonna do something. I'll give a special role to all the math streamer people, so you don't get pinged with all the student stuff all the time. But yeah, that's cool. Great.
Those are hard questions to ask, and I really appreciate that you had like you were curious and you asked it in a really approachable way for us to answer. So I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, I appreciated your questions too, Marxism. They're really great. Okay. Cool. All right. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming. What's up? Is it because we had the same questions? No.
Just Big Daddy.
Nick is always okay. You want to know a little story about Nick? Nick has won the PS5. Nick has won the laptop. Nick has won all the big prizes in this Discord. So like, Nick, you don't need any more prizes. I love you, Nick, but like, bro, I've given you so many prizes. All right. Yeah. He says I usually don't get to ask these kinds of questions, so I'm very appreciative. Yes, and that's a big thing. Again, my whole like vision with the Discord, with actual education and everything is I want to help you guys out with math and science, but also I understand that most of the time, I find this a lot when I'm teaching and tutoring, it's not so much that I'm teaching you math or science, it's that I'm being kind of a life coach for all the other half of life stuff that you need help with. And I want to provide that platform for you guys to ask, like these tough questions that, again, you would probably get yelled at or canceled at to try to ask, because it's part of life. And I'm glad to have, I'm glad Pencenter you agreed to come on the show, and you have so many awesome, cool background stuff and opening up about your childhood and stuff and all that. That was really cool. I really appreciated that.
Hey, no worries. I honestly appreciate just having the platform to just talk about whatever we want to talk about. So.
Yeah, I ain't gonna report to no fucking school board meeting. Fuck that shit.
yeah. Hopefully I don't get fired after this podcast.
Yeah, it's okay. No canceled. All right, awesome. All right, thank you everyone for coming. Our next stream is going to be on Monday. That's our office hour stream. That starts at 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you ever need the schedule, that's there. Oh, Enigma, do you have... Yeah, can I raid someone, Enigma? Is Danny or someone streaming? I'll raid them. That's totally cool. Yes, the tournament starts on Monday. That's another thing. I'll make all those announcements more in the Discord. I think we're going to do Oh, Danny's live? Okay, I'll have us raid Danny. Great, I love doing that. I love sending people to other stuff. Where is it? Twitch.
Wait, and also good. I was thinking about next time I will run a stream right after yours to put on schedule, so that maybe you can rate mine, or maybe I will ask Zach if he can rate mine, so that I can have more exposure for my category theory.
Of course, I would love to. Yes, no, I again, I'm here to help other streamers. I want to build y'all's platforms up as well. You know, they say what is it? All the boats rise together as the water goes up. Yeah, something like that. There you go. All boats rise together as the sea goes up. Yeah. Danny's playing Zelda. Okay, I think you have to play Zelda with them, Pencenter, too. Aren't you supposed to be part of this thing?
Yes, I am waiting for Zach to beat the Fire Temple. Then I am joining in and doing a 100% run of Ocarina of Time with them on Friday.
Speed run. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Here we go. Also, so
right, thanks again, Gold.
You're very welcome. Here's Pencenter's Twitch. So please follow him on Twitch. You want to hear some more cool information from him. Join our Discord if you haven't already, and we'll see much more of this. Again, love it. Thank you so much for being here, Pencenter. I appreciate it, dude. You're a G, dude. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.